This man's name is Minsu, the top hunter of Korea after defeating the Demon King. He was transported to a world full of ancient monsters. To return, he must defeat the dragon carrying a special core inside its body. After many years of fighting, he finally killed the monster and swallowed the core to return to Earth. However, upon opening his eyes, Minsu found himself not on Earth, but in an unfamiliar forest. Not only that, he also discovered a mysterious creature named Frey taking over his body. What other challenges will Minsu face on his journey? Let's dive into the content to find out, folks. 100 years ago, a strange star fell into the demon world. The young man clutched the wound on his stomach and vomited a mouthful of blood. You arbitrarily toyed with the demon world with that strange power, but this is the end for you. Though his vision was blurry, he tried to look up at the massive creature. Speak, mortal. What wish do you have? What did you desire so much that you risked your life to reach my dragon throne? The young man struggled to utter each word. Ah, the place I used to be my home. I want to go back. The dragon now faced him and asked, Go back. How one who dares risk their life to challenge me merely wishes for something so trivial. The man didn't answer, so it continued. Although that is inherently impossible, you have come to the right place. Then it revealed something that made him smirk. The power to return to your homeland, the spatial orb, lies within my heart. The young man replied to it. Do you know how much I endured to find it? His hand clenched the wound on his stomach, full of resentment. Exactly 100 years in this cursed, unfamiliar world. The dragon then raised its hand. Then you should feel grateful. That blow seemed about to strike the weak, fading man directly. I will end your meaningless life right here. A blinding light emanated from the young man's body. Finally, everything can end. It quickly overwhelmed the dragon's vision, causing the creature to pause. It let out a pained groan. The dragon watched the young man stand up on his own and wondered, what is this uneasy feeling? The blood on his side gradually faded as new skin formed. The wound I bore is healing. The dragon broke out in a sweat. No, this isn't just a normal regenerative ability. The young man regained his confidence and calmly walked towards it. Will you take it out yourself, or shall I rip out your heart? The dragon's blazing eyes stared intently at him. Don't tell me he's not just a mere warrior. While the young man was still smiling, I'll give you 3 seconds. Before it could even cast a spell, he kicked it, making it cough up blood. Recovery magic. Impatiently, he told it, 3 sorry, but I've waited long enough. The dragon opened its mouth wide while its whole body trembled in pain. Then it collapsed to the ground, its heavy body falling with a loud thud. Hunter Minsu, a healer, looked at his own hand. He had taken the dragon's heart, and now it was shining brightly. So, this is the spatial orb. Struggling for 100 years, all I got in the end was this damn dragon pearl. The food in this world is just as hard to swallow. Then the young man didn't hesitate and put it all in his mouth. Not a dragon pearl, but a spatial orb. Shut up, Frey. He swallowed it down his throat with a gulp. The magic circle beneath Sio's feet flared powerfully. This made him smile with satisfaction. Finally, I can go back. This made him smile with satisfaction. Finally, I can go back. Remembering happy memories made him even more expectant. Back to my disciples, back to my brother. Sio's blue planet was still waiting for him. Back to Earth. After performing such a teleportation, branches and leaves fell from above. Sio lay on the grassy carpet and temporarily passed out. A leaf gently fell on his head, waking him up. The young man shot up in surprise. Looking at the wild natural scenery around, he called out to someone, Hey, emergency, food supply. A mysterious voice echoed in his ear. Why call me a food source? I'm busy vomiting in your stomach from spatial sickness here. He felt temporarily relieved and stood up. Luckily, this guy made it through safely too. You disgusting bastard just turned into food already. The mysterious voice replied, Are you sure? If this body gets digested, the consequences will be severe. Sio looked around the forest and threatened it. Shut up before I vomit again. He continued confirming with it. This is Earth, right? Frey doubted him. What's this? You don't even recognize your own homeland. He replied calmly, The scenery on Earth changes depending on the location. Then the hunter rubbed his chin thoughtfully. The mana flow here feels like being inside a gate. Don't tell me we're inside a gate. Frey suddenly spoke up. Hey, emergency food supply. You smell like a weakling. Thanks to that reminder, he quickly checked. What the hell, is there something wrong with my mana? Don't tell me. The other voice despaired. Were you useless from the start? I'm breaking up with you. Xiu looked at his hand and exclaimed bitterly. Damn it, again! Frey heard him yelling at himself confusedly. Again! Xiu scratched his head worriedly. Looks like this is a side effect of interdimensional travel. Last time when I flew from Earth to another world, 100 years ago, my power was also severely reduced. My current condition is probably only around 15. No, maybe 20%. Frey was also surprised and urged him, 20%? Are you kidding me? Recover quickly before you get kicked out of here. He flared up in anger. It's not that simple. He started walking through the forest and recounted, last time it took me decades to fully recover my strength. The creature was annoyed. Decades. That's reason enough to break the contract. With this meager amount of mana, I can't use most of my top skills. As he was engrossed in conversation with it, a rustling sound came from the side. It's not that you can't use them. Someone panting with chaotic thoughts rushed past them. Damn it! I was too busy running away. I've lost all my teammates. Are they okay? No. First, I have to… Behind the girl was a large orc wielding a hammer. We're still on the lower floors, right? Why is an orc appearing here? Her slender legs accidentally tripped over a stone. Help! Then she fell directly to the ground with a terrified scream. The girl quickly looked back in horror. Me! While she was still in despair, Xiao appeared with a punch that sent the monster flying. Hey, I have something to ask you. Black blood spurted from it as he smiled cheerfully. Is this Earth? The girl hadn't even recovered from the shock yet. Yes, sorry. But he kept questioning relentlessly. This is also Korea, right? She sat up, drawn into his pace. What, yes? Yes, it is. This is Korea, Xiao asked curiously. What year is it now? She answered reflexively. 2037. He took down an orc with just one blow. Hearing that, he pondered for a moment. 2037, huh? The moment I was sucked into another dimension was 2027, so that means 100 years in the demon world is only equivalent to 10 years here. Then Xiao suddenly remembered something. Who is the current president? The girl answered awkwardly. It's Choi Dae-soo now. This information shocked Xiao even more. Choi Dae-soo. Don't tell me it's that muscle-brained guy with only one eye? The frail girl was frightened into confusion by him. What the heck is this an act? Remembering that familiar face, Xiao's smile grew colder. President. That Choi Dae-soo guy became president. He mumbled but loud enough for those nearby to hear, is Korea really that lacking in talent? She looked curiously at the strange person in front of her. Is this a regression plot or something? Xiu looked at the girl. But more importantly, the mana flow here is strange. Could it be, are we inside a gate? She flinched. This is inside the tutorial tower. Igasi. He looked confused. Tutorial tower. She enthusiastically explained, it's a place that suddenly appeared a few years ago like a gate for hunters. If hunters clear this place, they can awaken abilities and even receive skills. Depending on their awakening rank, they can join powerful guilds. So everyone wants to clear the tower as quickly as possible. Xiao still found it strange. Back when I was active, you could awaken without these things. The girl could now stand and walk normally to chat. That's a story from the first generation of hunters. He flexed his arm and leg muscles and added, simply put, if I want to leave here, I have to complete this tower. How long does it usually take to get out? She immediately provided the information. Normally 8 weeks. If you're excellent, at least 6 weeks. The record is 3 weeks. Set by the genius second-generation hunter Ryu Han. Xiu rotated his hand, then his shoulder. 3 weeks. Both stood there stunned with different emotions. The girl suddenly realized something. A large white tiger had appeared behind them at some point and was approaching. Seeing its ferocious face, the girl panicked. Tiger. Instinct made her quickly retreat. Run, quickly! while Seo was still preoccupied with the tower. 3 weeks, huh? 3 weeks is a bit long. The tiger licked its sharp teeth greedily, but he still paid no mind. Due to the side effects of interdimensional travel, my mana flow and body movements are both slowed. Aren't I? Then it lunged very quickly as the girl tried to warn him. Sorry, didn't the academy teach you to run immediately if you encounter a tiger? She shut her eyes tightly and screamed loudly as the tiger's mouth was very close. There's no other way. I'll set myself a more comfortable deadline. Without even looking, Xiao flicked his hand, sending it flying backward. The tiger's teeth fell out, making the girl turn pale. 5 days, he sighed, looking at the blood on his hand. That's enough. Just then, Min Si-jun, the guild master of the Empire Guild, received a report. Captain, someone just left the tutorial tower. He put down his pen. If I remember correctly, it's only been about 6 weeks since they entered, right? Not bad. His writing paused upon hearing unexpected news. But this person wasn't in the initial entry group, Awan. She simultaneously presented her tablet and are currently causing a commotion. Looking at the picture, the chairman's eyes widened in astonishment. Xiu's image was clearly printed and clipped inside brother. At this time, Xiu had just arrived in the city, much to the girl's awkwardness. Sir, how long are you planning to follow me? The girl's face turned pale. What the heck? Before her eyes was the monster punched through with a hole. He cleared the tutorial tower in just 5 days. Meanwhile, Xiu checked himself with great satisfaction. Fighting really helps me recover faster. It feels like my strength is back to about 25%. An announcement sounded above them with a blinding light. Tutorial complete. Calculating stats and analyzing skill compatibility. Then the words it uttered were exactly as expected, making Xiu chuckle inwardly. Measurement impossible. A spatial rift opened before them. The gate is opening. Xiu quickly moved forward. The girl awkwardly called out, wait up, let me come with you. He, however, was happily full of anticipation. Finally back in Seoul, they stepped outside amidst the murmurs of countless people there, opposite the gate outside the tutorial tower. A muscular guy with his underlings raised an eyebrow and asked, why is it so noisy? The guy behind him answered, the gate just opened, but there seems to be an issue. His eyes landed on the petite girl next to Xiu. It's those two. I think I saw that pretty girl on the entry list. He quickly approached them. What's this? The controller quickly reported, Team 2, Captain has arrived. He heard and glanced over. The situation is, these two just came out of the gate, but that guy isn't on the entry list. His face looked back at him with extreme boredom. Someone claiming to have cleared the tower without a scratch. Sounds absurd, doesn't it? And look at that insolent gaze. Looks like a parasite about to starve to death. Must have gotten a decent skill, huh? Then, the Team 2 captain directly pushed the staff member aside. Hey, move, let me handle this? He tilted his chin up and arrogantly asked Xiu, who the hell are you? Why isn't your name on the list? Xiu calmly replied, because I didn't enter through the entrance. His answer provoked the man to yell, if I enter through the mouth, of course I'll exit through another way. You entered through the entrance, so why exit through the exit? This was a bit hard to explain, so he still hesitated. Well, it just happened that way. He rubbed the back of his neck and sighed. This guy disrespects his seniors too much, doesn't he? Frey appeared and whispered, hey, supply source, this guy must really like eating feces. Then he pointed a finger at his forehead. Hey, kid. The Team 2. Captain spoke loudly. I can tell you just awakened some camouflage skill and are playing tricks. If you don't want to die, cut it out immediately. Got it. What's with that expression like you're chewing feces? Frey spoke some words in his heart for him. Correction? Heh, you definitely really like feces. He grimaced, then opened his wide mouth and yelled, hey, I told you to stop. Or should I just rip that arrogant face of yours off? Xiu suddenly smirked with amusement. Then he directly slapped his hand away and replied, shut up. You stink horribly. What? The other guy roared, is this bastard crazy? Meanwhile, Xiu cracked a few knuckles and added, what did you just say about ripping my face off? Xiu directly insulted him to his face. Shut up and fight. Try to breathe less. This smell is horrible. The other guy clenched his teeth, his face darkening with rage. Finally, unable to hold back, he threw a punch. "You bastard!" Shu calmly repeated his words. "I told you to shut up." He opened his indifferent eyes and clicked his tongue. "Told you so many times, but you wouldn't listen." After the brawl, Si-jun and his secretary stood astonished at the door. She held her head and shrieked upon seeing the captain beaten black and blue. What the hell is happening?" An employee hastily reported, "Actually, the person we just reported for causing trouble, he fought with the guards." And then the girl turned pale. "Where's the suspect?" He answered, "He vanished." Si-jun turned and asked seriously, "Is there any CCTV footage capturing his image?" Alt. The employee quickly replayed the scene right at the start of the fight. This is the recording from that moment. Siu's figure vanished in an instant, and the others took the full force of his punches. He also recounted, in just a few seconds he took down 5 hunters and disappeared. Considering he didn't appear on screen, could he be a hunter possessing a stealth skill? But Si-jun uttered a word, "No, he's simply moving too fast." The other person still didn't understand. "What do you mean?" But the chairman was busy staring intently at the screen. "Xiu." His finger swiped across the screen and zoomed in on Xiu's face. "I'm sure it's him. He looks exactly the same as 10 years ago." Then he whispered, making the secretary behind him gasp. "Hello." Si-jun's attitude changed to a determined one. "Issue a wanted order, immediately. Mobilize all members of Empire to find him. Absolutely no rash actions. Just say you're from Min Si-jun and bring him here. Hurry." The others hastily complied. "Yes, yes." They quickly left, leaving Si-jun lost in thought. "Brother, where have you been all this time? Why appear only now kidnapped ran away? There must be a reason. If you were still in Korea, you would have definitely come to me." He tried to think of possible scenarios. If so, in this situation, where would you go first? Suddenly brown hair appeared before his eyes. It was the girl who was with CEO earlier, so he quickly recognized her. "You're one of the people who just came out of the tutorial tower this time, right?" She forced a smile. "That's right. But honestly, I didn't do anything. Someone else brought all of us out. Anyway, we awakened and came out together." Si-jun chatted friendly with her. "I see you came out earlier than expected. You must have gotten a pretty good skill." The girl shyly scratched her head. "I'm not sure if it's good, but at least it's an A-rank skill." He smiled and calculated inwardly. A rank. Although there's no final evaluation yet, it's best to recruit her first. "We will offer the best possible contract terms. Are you interested in joining Empire?" Hearing that the girl was extremely excited, Jade joined Empire. With her joy, she readily agreed to his suggestion. "Really, if it's truly an invitation, it would be a great honor for me and my family." But just then strange footsteps approached. The guild name is Empire, but their actions are no different from a gang. Si-jun looked back coldly. "You should watch your words." Jihan winked mischievously while feigning innocence. "Seems I unintentionally offended you." He laughed loudly, being an S-rank hunter and a member of the Diamond Guild. "You're too sensitive." Beside him, Sanjin calmly initiated conversation. "Looks like you got here before me. Everyone must have received the notice from the association." Jihan looked around the chaotic room while Sanjin mumbled, "The entire security team wiped out. Is that the unregistered awakener the association mentioned?" Call. He knelt beside the Team 2 captain and sighed. "What a noisy fellow causing such a commotion right after coming out." The person behind agreed. "We don't know who he is, but it's best to find him quickly. Judging by his strength, it seems he awakened a high-rank skill that means he has the potential to become a key asset." Sanjin also acknowledged Seo. "Honestly, I see great value in him." This prompted Jihan to issue a challenge with amusement. "Well then, whoever finds him first gets him, okay?" All. He deliberately looked towards Si-jun and sneered, "And if our methods are a bit unconventional, surely no one would complain, right?" He merely glanced at them without comment. The three temporarily agreed and split up. "All right then, I'll go find him myself. None of us has time to waste. If you find this awakener, at least let each other know. What about you? Here's my business card. Take your time thinking. With an awakening rank like yours, you'll be welcomed anywhere." Jihan stood up. "It's up to you." He waved and promised them, "I'll let you know if I find him." Sejun replied coolly with an unwelcoming expression. Uh-huh, probably. Afterwards, they also stepped outside. At the main gate, someone was already waiting for the chairman. Jin-sik quickly followed Ji-han. Did the conversation go smoothly? He then ordered his subordinate Jin-sik, gather all C and D rank members of Diamond into teams. Deploy immediately. We need to find someone. He asked curiously, making the corner of Jihan's mouth curl up. Who? He paused and uttered a name, Min Sejun, his damn bloodline. Meanwhile, Xiu was leisurely strolling down the street with his hands in his pockets, unaware he had just been the subject of contention somewhere. Frey complained discontentedly to Xiu. Just returned to Earth after 100 years and the first place you visit is just a fried chicken joint. He held a large drumstick and tempted him. Just try it. Then you'll understand why I rushed here like a starving dog. That side took a bite and immediately yelled, "What the hell is this? I've wasted my entire life. What is this? Is this fried chicken made from pure gold heritage? How can it be this delicious? How did you survive 100 years in the demon world without this? Are you insane?" He chuckled and replied softly, "I'm restoring my humanity, so be quiet." Frey urged him again. "All right, then hurry up and give me more. Don't eat it all yourself. The rest is mine." After finishing a meal, he opened the door and left the restaurant. Thanks. Xiu had changed into more casual clothes and was strolling down the street. "So where's the next destination?" He said not very cheerfully. "Where else?" The direction he was heading was a place with a small alley and closely packed buildings. Home. Xiu stood before a small old house, making Frey curious. "Is this your house?" He grasped the handle on the gate to open it. The gate to open it. A familiar voice echoed in his head. "Xiu, are you home, son?" His father's face, with a welcoming smile, appeared. "You're back. A little late today, huh?" His mother was in the kitchen, but also cheerfully concerned about him. "Are you hungry? Mom will call Sejun home to eat together." Ball. Back then, Xiu was still innocent and rushed into the house. "Yes, Mom." Both brothers jumped into their father's arms. "I'm home. It's soybean paste stew." Their mother held the pot of food and reminded them, "Everyone wash your hands first." But returning to reality inside was just a mess, as if it had been rummaged through. Cobwebs were everywhere, and beer cans were scattered around the corner of the wall. Xiu silently looked at each old scene, sunlight illuminating half his face. Then he sat down on the wooden floor, the only intact part of the house. He stretched out his body to lie down. Just as expected, I can't even remember my parents' faces anymore. They say forgetting is a gift from the gods. The confession from the bottom of his heart surfaced again. But for me, it's a curse. 100 years in the demon world, endless battles on a strange blood-soaked planet, Chiyu. His body drifted amidst the vast expanse of space. Human senses gradually numbed. A body frozen in time. An ego slowly fading. Around him were glowing entities he tried to chase. During that terrifyingly long time, he clung desperately to memories, fearing the curse of forgetting would consume him. First were the faces of his loved ones, memories of his younger brother, then the backs of other hunters, memories of his disciples. A wall appeared blocking him, leaving him helpless. And then those memories were no longer keepsakes. They turned into obsessions and regrets. He closed his eyes to maintain his composure. "But it's okay. Thanks to that, I survived for 100 years. Frey then remarked, "Your house seems desolate. Honestly, the place we stayed in the demon world felt warmer." Then he sat up too. "Thanks to this guy too. There was no fried chicken there." Frey was put in an awkward spot by the logic. "Logically speaking, that's true. I can't refute it." Xiu didn't intend to stay long and continued walking. "I just planned to drop by for a bit. Let's go." The young man stepped out of the yard and slowly walked down the stairs. "It's time to find the others. I wonder how they've lived these past 10 years. As he walked, he whispered cheerfully, "Hope Sejun is okay too." But then a voice interrupted his words, "Found you." Just as he stepped out of the house, a group of armed people surrounded Xiu with immense killing intent. "Damn it! Finding you was a nightmare." Hak Moon sat smugly on the rooftop. "Nice to meet you. You must be the one who caused the commotion at the exit above." "Right. I'm Beck. Hak Moon, a C-rank hunter from Diamond." Do you know how hard we worked to find you? Siyu looked at him and replied coolly, So what? Do you want me to console you or something? That side repeated, Hey, didn't you hear me? We're from Diamond. But Sio paid no attention to those words. Diamond, diamond, or whatever, I don't care. What do you people want? They laughed loudly. What do we want? This guy still doesn't get the situation, huh? Want me to teach you how to crawl instead of walk? The hunter world is all messed up now. He used to it, started mocking him. I think walking on all fours suits that ugly monkey face of yours better. Siu sighed, then let out a sentence that angered him. Nowadays, even gorillas can become hunters. This world must be wonderful. Electricity sparked around Hack Moon. This bastard is incurable. Let's deal with him first, then take him away. He dashed behind him with the speed of lightning. Then Hack Moon punched Sio, sending him flying straight into the wall. The others, and he gloated, Who did you just call a gorilla, huh, punk? You're Maya. In Penmai. While they were gloating, Sio was lying on the ground contemplating life. Hack Moon, are you okay? He knocked you down before you could even take your hands out of your pockets. Is that enough? Keep hitting him. An information panel appeared before his eyes again. Skill. Lightning flash. Rank. C effect. More than doubles movement speed for a short time if body and stamina can withstand it. Can move even faster. He was also curious. Well, want to try it? Frey replied. This is the first skill I've absorbed since returning to Earth. I want to taste it. After getting the answer, he sat up on his own. All right. Hack Moon gaped in astonishment, but Sio had already zipped past him. What the hell? While he was still exclaiming, he took a head-first dive into the ground. How could you? That Hack Moon guy passed out from the strong impact to the ground. His underlings also started to panic. Siu reached out his hand in front of the guy's body. Then he activated his skill, Eat Up Predator. A magic circle appeared around them to initiate the plundering process. Siu then immediately received the Thug skill, Predator skill, Absorption, Successful skill, Lightning, Flash rank, C effect. More than doubles movement speed for a short time. He looked quite pleased at Hack Moon. Still usable on Earth, huh? Frey commented. Stealing skills is cool, but it's not as tasty as fried chicken. Hack Moon's underling clenched his teeth. Then they stopped hiding and charged out simultaneously. What are you standing there for? Attack him now. Sio spoke to the entity inside him. Frey, let's test the skill we just stole. Ice. It readily complied and activated the lightning, just like Hack Moon around his body. Roger supply source. Then Sio dashed rapidly around the area, landing a blow on each thug. One guy with a sword tried to draw his blade and charged. He swung but only grazed past Sio's side. And the consequence of that was getting punched in the stomach by Sio. Damn it. Then Frey also absorbed his skill, giving Sio a new weapon immediately. Skill. Heavy strike rank, C effect upon activation. The body will automatically react to strike the opponent's weak point, more effective when using a weapon. The blade is completely dull. As a swordsman, you should at least sharpen your weapon right. Having no other choice, Shio had to use it to deal with the remaining guys. I'll take this, okay? Before the blade could pierce the guy's neck, someone stopped him, sir. The figure in a vest was panting, having just run here very quickly. Xiu froze, looking at that person extremely surprised himself. Si-jun still looked the same as in his old memories, so he couldn't possibly forget. And he smiled happily. Brother Xiu. The young man stiffened completely, losing his earlier killing intent. He uttered his younger brother's name, Si-jun. Time rewound. 20 years ago, when the gate opened on a peaceful Earth, the world instantly fell into chaos. Countless large and ferocious creatures charged out to attack humans. Monsters poured from the gate along with that. The first individuals to awaken powers began to appear, a wild era where there were no laws or policies to control the situation. Si-jun remembered very clearly in his memories, and everyone was just a novice. No one knew what to do. Amidst that chaotic world, my brother and I children who lost their parents early were forced to find a way to survive. My brother, one of the first-generation awakeners, dropped out of school to become a hunter just to raise me the little kid I was back then. His His younger self innocently asked, "Brother, aren't you going to school today?" Siyu held his bag and replied, "I'm not going to school anymore. I'm working now." Sejun felt sad and lowered his head. "Is it because of me?" His older brother patted his head comfortingly. "No, it's because I'm bad at studying, so I decided on a path early." So they temporarily parted, making Sejun worry. "So when will you be back? Will it be very late?" Ew. Siu opened the door and promised his little brother, "Don't worry, I'll be back soon." Returning to the present, he entered the house to take off his shoes, still admiring. "This house is really cool." He looked around the house, then expressed satisfaction. "Damn, isn't this the Han River view? Did you buy it all yourself? No loans or anything?" "Min Si-jun, you did it," Si-jun replied. "It's no big deal. Anyway, it's thanks to the skills you taught me that I earned the money." He added, though, still skeptical, "I bought this house for us brothers to live together, so there's a room for you too. It doesn't feel real at all. Is it really you, brother? The person I couldn't find, no matter how hard I looked, suddenly appearing after 10 years like this." Siu leaned against the glass door with amusement. "Even a private room for me. Raising a little brother seems fun now. You've been through a lot, Min Si-jun." The corners of his eyes suddenly reddened with emotion. Then he quickly turned away. "The one who truly struggled was you, brother. Seeing you can still joke like this, you really are my brother." Now the pent-up feelings from deep inside him were finally voiced. "Brother, do you know how long I've been looking for you? Where on earth have you been all this time?" Siu walked over and patted his brother's head like when he was little. "Sit down. I have 100 years worth of stories to tell." Cans of beer and snacks were fully prepared. The two brothers changed clothes and sat facing each other to talk. To summarize, everything happened in order. 10 years ago, the moment I defeated the fourth Demon King, I was transported to another dimension due to the effect of an artifact the Demon King possessed. In that world, I met a creature called Predator who could steal others' skills. I grew stronger thanks to that ability over 100 years fighting while searching for a dragon possessing spatial magic until I encountered the Dragon King. You defeated the Dragon King and used the spatial orb in its heart to return to Earth, right? I defeated the Dragon King. I could go home. Frey in his head exclaimed, "Those long legs look delicious." Siu, mouth full, added information. That predator also followed me back to Earth, and now it's inside my body." Si-jun turned pale with fear. "Inside your body? You mean possessed?" His brother corrected, "More like a parasite." Frey, inside his body, expressed dissatisfaction. "Hey, wanna vomit blood, Inas?" Siyu's eyes were still glued to the screen, but he explained to his brother, "Don't take it too seriously. I know it sounds like science fiction, but just remember, your brother isn't crazy, all right." Si-jun immediately spoke up. "Of course I believe you, because it's you saying it. Anyway, we are living in a world where these things are no longer absurd. It's just hard to visualize immediately. Anyway, you being back is enough." Now it was Sio's turn to wonder. "That's right. Now it's your turn. What the hell happened to this country in the past 10 years for that bastard to become president?" Si-jun picked up a can of drink and began recounting. "After you disappeared, Choi Dae-soo shamelessly took all the credit for defeating the fourth Demon King. He climbed to the presidency with the title God of War, the greatest first-generation hunter, and used that fake reputation to gain public support. Yet even now he constantly implements policies unfavorable to our guild." He gritted his teeth uncomfortably. If he knew the only one who could challenge him had returned, Siu leaned back, looking like he understood. "That guy's intentions are clear. The only SS rank hunter in Korea. Sounds like a joke. Hey, the group that attacked us earlier, those guys calling themselves Diamond, are they Choi Dae-soo's lackeys?" His brother explained, "No, Choi Dae-soo's guild is the Infinite Legion. Currently, Korea has 7 major hunter guilds collectively called the 7 Stars." Si-jun crushed the can in anger. "Including our guild empire. 7 Stars, War King Han, Seoul, Cheonghwa, White Lion, Infinite Legion. Diamond among them. Diamond is Ryu Ji-han's guild. A second-generation hunter. Second-generation hunter. That damn snake bastard. Just leave today's matter to me, don't worry about it." This made the person sitting opposite him hesitant. Your brother, after 10 years, he's become this tough. Siyu continued asking, startling him. Hey, what about my disciples? Si Jun's palm tightened slightly. We've all gone our separate ways. It's been a long time since anyone contacted each other. Their situations aren't great either. Xiaolong went back to his hometown. As for Kong Johan, he joined Choi Dai-su's faction, Ayuman Deskuyi Kri. Shu's face was slightly flushed from drinking. That's a bit surprising. What about Min Jun? Anatiyo? But then it darkened in shock. He was murdered. The photo behind them was still placed right there, intensifying Sio's inner turmoil. He's dead. Who did it? Si Jun recounted. The body disappeared so the culprit couldn't be identified. There are only two types of people who can kill hunters. Other hunters or unregistered awakeners. At that time, the HMCS investigated but found no clues. He clenched his fist tightly to restrain himself. Siu tried rubbing his head and looked up. HMCS, what's that? His brother picked up the computer. The HMCS manages hunters and controls areas. He typed continuously on the keyboard, searching for information. An international organization specializing in handling cases related to hunters, okay. Then he also showed Sio an article. They have full authority to investigate and apprehend awakened criminals globally. Simply put, they are the police of the hunter world. He looked at the glowing screen, planning something. Do you have any connections there? Si Jun hesitantly replied, yes, but are you really planning to go there? If you need information, it's better to use our guild's intelligence team. That place is very harsh. You shouldn't go without a valid reason. Because of what happened earlier, Sio looked very unhappy. It's fine. I need more than just information. Despite that, his brother still tried to dissuade him. Brother hunters are fighters, but the work there mainly involves handling murder cases. You just got back, don't rush, rest for a while and regain your fighting senses first. His finger gently moved the mouse to select something. Si Jun, I fought for 100 years in another world. Half of Sio's face darkened terrifyingly. Do you think there's anything I haven't done? Si Jun struggled to swallow. I almost forgot your nickname. He had no other choice but to agree. All right then. If you've decided Li Yeji from Han Seoul is a high-ranking official there, I'll contact her. Siu smiled happily. Thanks, little brother. The young man became even more scared by his brother. Brother, your face is still the same, but your aura is completely different. What on earth happened to you in that other world? Suddenly Xiu exclaimed, I've seen this face somewhere before. His brother was also curious. Who let me see? Si Jun took a look and recognized him. Huang Zhonggu, captain of the Gangbuk team of HMCS, a 1-5 generation hunter. Do you know him? Xu mumbled the name, Zhonggu. No, this bastard's name is... Time passed quickly, and soon it was 2 days later. HMCS headquarters. Zhonggu angrily burst open the door. Gangbuk team office. Damn it, these second-generation hunters nowadays. The staff member there quickly inquired, Captain, what's wrong? He stormed over fuming. The higher-ups just assigned some rookie brat to my team. Damn it. No wonder people call them the incubator generation, brains full of tofu dregs. The young man cursed inwardly. This old man, yes. Zhonggu couldn't hold back and ranted, damn it, kids these days. Back then the hunter world was a lawless land. We always had to write our wills before going on missions. Understand? Hey, have I told you about the time I almost died in a raid 10 years ago? The young man showed clear boredom. About 786 times already I've heard it. Despite that, Zhonggu had no intention of stopping, but hearing it again won't hurt. When I was a rookie, I was critically injured on a mission. His eyes sparkled like stars. My team back then had almost lost all fighting strength. Everyone fell into despair. A slender arm reached out to heal him. Right then, a healer with extraordinary abilities appeared. Zhonggu sniffled. He used the Huatuo skill to save me, then said, just then, Xiu kicked the door open and walked in. Byonggu Ya. Both men looked over in surprise as Xiu casually spoke as if he owned the place. Why did you change your name? The old one was good. Now you're confusing me. He smiled friendly and pointed at himself. Do you still remember me? I'm the one who saved your life. That face made Zhonggu tremble. What hunter? Min Xiu. In his memory, that face had clearly reached out to help him during his time of distress. After regaining his composure, Zhonggu cleared his throat and called the staff member out. This is the new member joining our Gangbuk team. Hunter, Min Siu? He was still very awkward uttering each word. Since he's a rookie, there will be many things he's unfamiliar with here. If he needs any information, provide it immediately. Hey, as seniors, you should treat the rookie properly. Si Ung whispered to the young man beside him. Wait, isn't that contradictory to what he just said? Why is Captain Jong-gu acting so strangely today? He replied softly, quiet judging. By the captain's reaction earlier, he doesn't seem like an ordinary rookie. Then Jong-gu pointed directly at her to give an order. Kim Se-young. The girl flinched and quickly replied, Yes. With a very firm attitude, he immediately made a decision. Follow me to the meeting room right now. We need to give a short briefing to the newcomer. They entered the room amidst the confusion of the staff there. Wait, could a rank 3 hunter really be joining as a rookie? They entered the familiar meeting room with Jong-gu chattering like a magpie. Hunter Min-siu, would you like some coffee? Instant or Americano? Siu said coolly. Instant is fine. Jong-gu quickly prepared everything for him. This is the HMCS deployment uniform. What size do you wear? Si-young raised her hand wanting to speak. Captain, even if it's a summary report, I haven't received any documents to prepare. What do I need to explain to him? No, to Sir, Siu stated the request for him. Summarize all data on hunters killed in the past 20 years and give it to me. The girl immediately turned pale. Data from 20 years is a huge amount. Moreover, we also have to report to the Hunter Association. Jong-gu brought water over and snapped, Hey, don't make excuses. You've worked here long enough to handle this. Wise policy. He was extremely welcoming to Seo and leaned close to offer water. Don't worry, Hunter, Min-siu. Our data manager is extremely efficient. Si-ung became even more confused. Could the captain have been replaced by someone without me knowing? She refocused on her work and adjusted her glasses. Newcomer, Sir Seo, when you say killed, you mean just information about the victims, right? He picked up the small cup and clarified. Only cases officially recognized by HMCS as murders. Also, I need a list of hunter killers whose identities haven't been confirmed. The anger inside made his hand crush the paper cup. Killing an awakener is almost impossible unless the attacker is also an awakener. Moreover, if someone could kill Min Jun, a high-rank hunter, then that person must be a professional. Whether the culprit was caught or died, if they were an awakener, the association definitely has records. For now, the priority is finding their identities. Si-ung confusedly opened her tablet. Where should I send the information? Siu requested, Send it to my phone first. Outside, a staff member's voice sounded, Captain, do you have a moment? Jong-gu replied, What is it? Come in. The young man peeked from behind the door to report. The police just requested backup. A territory dispute has broken out between gangs with awakened members. Jong-gu leaned on his hand, puzzled. Can't the police handle those things themselves? They're just low-level thugs. The staff member then specified further, the problem is, one of them is Cerberus. Hearing that, he immediately held his head. What? It's those bastards again? Seo didn't understand. Cerberus. What's that? Si-young explained to him while handing back the phone. They're completely different from normal gangs, specializing in arms-dealing contract killings. There are even suspicions of hunter trafficking. The police have a hard time dealing with them alone. He was quite interested. Hunter trafficking. Byong, let me come along. Jong-gu reminded him, It's Jong-gu. Now I change my name. But he didn't argue with Seo and quickly put on his jacket. But if you call me that, then I'll be Byong from now on. Let's go. He put on the team jacket himself and walked out. Even as a rookie, you should at least go through a training course first. Meanwhile, outside the water shop had collapsed due to the battle. The other person's body bled out and lay on the ground before the triumphant troublemaker. The elite forces of death. God battle aren't anything right? Kang Ho. The leader was laughing heartily. Before Cerberus, they're nothing. His underling chimed in, Exactly, boss. Ji Jian interrupted to claim credit. Boss Kang Ho, that's not fair. Half of them were cut down by my meat cleaver. He shrugged. Jealous. Then defeat me, Ji Jian. The other guy sat down and confidently replied, Just wait, boss. The day will come when I surpass you. Kang Ho burst out laughing. How would you guys survive without me? Huh. Luckily, I quit being a hunter to join the organization. Our big boss really has an eye for people. The other guy was extremely impatient. Boss, can we start marking the territory now? He smirked, preparing to declare, all right, from today, this place belongs to Cerberus. Suddenly, a large explosion occurred, making Kang Ho stagger and sending everything flying. Jijian looked back in surprise. There's still a Death God battle member left. The person who caused the explosion walked over, still mumbling, what was it again? Meek, Frey spoke up to remind him, your memory is terrible. I remember it was HMCS. Jijian hastily shrieked, did you just kill him? Messing with HMCS will cause trouble. Kang Ho also panicked. Like I care, you handle it yourself. A cold voice called out directly to him. Hey, Shu stepped out from the charred wall, adjusting his hair. Listening to how you talk seems like you've killed hunters before, huh? He glared at them and sneered, show me then. The underlings also struggled to get up. Is he okay? Never seen this face in Gangbuck before? More importantly, what idiot wandered in here alone, boss? So Kang Ho wiped the blood from his face, bewildered. Strange, I swear. I just heard the sound of a skull shattering. What are you waiting for? If he wants a show, give him one. The leader immediately activated his skill. Welcome to the River Styx Bastard skill, full body armor rank B effect. Upon activation creates an invisible layer of armor covering the entire body. Duration depends on the caster's mana. Increases physical defense by 30%. Increases magic defense by 10%. The underlings also charged like mad dogs. Kill him. Everything went dark around them due to the terrifying battle. The image of an old man standing by the riverbank made the young man wonder, what happened? I was just fighting. Wait, who's standing on the other side of the river? Then his beloved grandfather suddenly burst into tears, making him awkward. Grandpa, Grandpa! Kang Ho lay still on the ground, teary-eyed. Mom! Just then, a rough hand grabbed his hair. Now get up. Siu had beautifully dealt with everyone around. Now it's just you left? Earlier, he had also used his familiar skill, Eat Up Predator. Frey absorbed it and was satisfied. This skill is delicious. Such a satisfying feeling. Kang Ho struggled to utter each word. Just one person wiped us all out. What? Why? What do you want to know? We don't know anything. We've never killed hunters. We're just pawns. Siu smiled. I know small fries like you wouldn't have the guts to do that. The guy's eyes were gradually dimming, then why? Siu stood up and dusted off his hands. I just wanted to test the strength of awakened criminals nowadays. You guys looked like a threat, so I dealt with you along the way. Jonggu had just arrived and quickly inquired, Hunter Minshu, are you okay? The entire upper floor of the club has been secured. Ayo Minderbeer. He shrieked in fear. You insisted on going alone. I was so worried. But Seo remained calm as usual. Are you guys done? Took quite a while. He stepped on Kang Ho's head. I kept one of the leaders in case I need to extract information, killed the rest. Is that okay? Ji Jian was also dealt with neatly and lay flat on the ground. In principle, capture is the priority, but preemptive self-defense if attacked is permissible, because HMCS operates under international law, so we follow standard procedures. Jonggu spoke, his face pale. Normally, agents must wear body cams for evidence. It's true they were brutal enough to be dealt with immediately, but he wiped them all out with that blank face. He couldn't stop thinking. He was already famous for being a mad dog, but since when did he become so ruthless? Siu scratched his head innocently. Body cam? Oh, I forgot. But hey, I'm still in my probationary period. Then he asked Jonggu, you'll cover for me, right? He replied tearlessly, yes, yes. They walked past under a table together. But they really attacked me first. See the blood on my clothes. Jonggu outwardly agreed, but already knew clearly, oh, of course I believe you. Obviously that's someone else's blood. Through the phone, the guy hastily reported, I'm telling the truth. Cerberus has been completely wiped out. I'm telling the truth. Cerberus has been completely wiped out. And the rank 3 leader, Jijian, the one you told us to track, is dead. The person on the other end coldly said, repeat that. An A-rank hunter from Hong Kong from the Sikh Guild, his face darkened with anger, who died. An airport sign appeared. A group in black suits saw Ghost step out from inside. One quickly spoke up. Hunter, Ghost from the Sick Guild of Hong Kong has just entered our country. We will escort you to the designated location." Li Junyang bowed 45 degrees before him and spoke formally. "May the deceased rest in peace, Hunter Ghost. I am Li Junyang from the Korean Hunter Association." He glanced over and asked, "Where is my brother?" He looked at him and replied, "The body of suspect Jijian is currently at the Hunter Forensic Examination Room. Hunter Ghost, you will come with us to identify the body, complete the necessary procedures, and then be taken to the designated accommodation." Ghost heard this and smirked, mumbling, "Suspect, huh?" He looked at Junyang and asked, "Jijian, I heard the one who killed my brother is related to HMCS." He replied grimly, "I cannot answer any questions related to that matter." Ghost's face darkened, frowning as he growled, "Am I allowed to leave the accommodation outside of the schedule?" He answered neither quickly nor slowly. "Not permitted. You must remain at the accommodation until the scheduled departure date if you leave without permission. According to international hunter law, you will face mandatory deportation along with appropriate penalties. Well, then we will take you to the forensic examination room." "Why?" His face gradually turned red with anger. "So I can only light incense and leave." Watching Junyang's group leave, Ghost quietly called his subordinate, Ryu. That underling immediately responded, "Yes, senior." He ordered, "Find him. Ryu Yifeng, B+ rank hunter." Sick Guild Shadow Squad forced a smile and obeyed, "Understood." Ghost emanated a powerful killing aura, his eyes showing dangerous red glints, as he thought, "Just wait, you bastard who killed my brother. I'll rip your heart out while you're still alive." Xiu leaned against the wall facing Si-jun and asked, "Did they take everything in the house?" His face sad, he handed over a stack of documents saying, 2 days after Min-jun was murdered, the house was completely ransacked." Si-jun continued as Xiu flipped through the documents. "A hunter's mana is like a fingerprint. It reveals their identification number, attributes, and rank." Right. The investigating hunters at the time assumed the culprit took everything to erase all traces. Since Min-jun was an archaeologist, the house was full of important research materials. Not a single item was left behind except his mana. Xiu wondered, "Are you sure the real culprit? Couldn't it have been a random burglary?" He was stunned. "What?" He pointed to a piece of information. "If you look at the list of stolen items most have value, with this level of mess, the chance of leaving traces should be higher, right?" He froze at his words. If the real goal was to erase mana traces, burning down the entire house would be much more effective. Si-jun looked at Xiu and asked, "You mean someone took advantage of the empty house after Min-jun was killed?" He exhaled sharply. "I went through the HMCS criminal records. There are more similar cases than I thought." He walked forward, leaving him behind. "Looks like we need to ask around some contacts then." Si-jun called out confusedly. "What?" "Even if the process of disposing of stolen goods takes time, it's been many years. There's no way Min-jun's belongings are still out there." Xiu held the documents behind his head, smiling brightly. "How would we know without checking? See you tonight?" Back to the present, he scratched his head awkwardly, muttering to himself, "That's what I said so confidently." He frowned angrily, looking ahead. "But how can this tiny country have so many thieves? It's been a week and I haven't tracked down anything." A voice sounded, "Food source has good instincts. Trust this big brother, I'll show you the right way." "Go right?" Xiu furiously wanted to breathe fire, yelling, "That's a dead-end alley, you idiot." Suddenly he heard a voice and looked to find its source. "Have you heard the recent rumors, sir?" Xiu carefully hid behind a large pillar, listening. Han Xian gestured wildly, talking to the person beside him. "HMCS is cracking down hard on dealers of stolen goods. Just yesterday, the entire Yongdyungpo area got swept clean." The fat man smoking was surprised. "What, seriously?" Without a search warrant or report or anything. He desperately followed him, pale-faced, replying, "It's HMCS boss. They have full authority to investigate hunters worldwide, and they have the right to execute awakened criminals on the spot. If you resist them, it's not prison, it's death." The man took out his cigarette, frowning. "But aren't they just the government's hunting dogs? Just kill them, and it's over, right?" Xiu hid behind, clearly hearing Han Xian's words. "Right, powerful hunters would rather join a guild, much more money. That's why organizations like HMCS don't have any high-rank hunters." He followed the fat man, adding, "But the one hunting the smugglers this time isn't some unknown madman. We specialize in handling stolen hunter goods. Maybe we should move the warehouse elsewhere, and that warehouse—" Xiu suddenly interrupted, asking, "Where is it?" Han Xian jumped and yelled, "Who's there?" Xiu pointed at them nonchalantly. "Now your warehouse is confiscated." The man yelled, "What?" He turned pale with fear, raising his hand. "I think it's him. The damn HMCS guy who wiped out all the smuggling gangs." The fat man took out his phone to notify, "Guys, get to Area 2. Immediately, emergency situation." He put his hands on his hips threateningly. "Where's the warehouse? I'm busy. So unless you want to die, speak quickly." He stammered in panic. Damn it! Han Xian, deal with this bastard." Han Xian trembled. Me? I'm not the fighting type." A group ran over asking, "Boss, what the hell is going on? Who the hell is this guy? Why is there an imposter here?" He sweated profusely in fear, but still arrogantly pointed at him. "Does this idiot know where he's stepping? Even if it's HMCS, if we bury him in concrete and throw him into the sea, no one will ever find him." Xiu showed no sign of fear, standing perfectly still. A magic circle gradually formed under his feet, shining brightly. "Even gathers itself for me." "How cute. Mana flowed out," Xiu asked excitedly. "Frey haven't used skills in a while, right? Want to try a bit?" A voice sounded, setting a condition. "One skill, one piece of fried chicken." A large surge of mana appeared around him. He happily accepted, "Deal." The others turned pale mouths agape. A large bolt of lightning was unleashed towards them. Electric wave. That lightning bolt was so powerful, it seemed to shatter the surroundings. The fat man's underlings turned pale mouths wide open in panic as lightning bolts surrounded their bodies. Han Xian lay trembling flat on the ground. Xiu approached and asked, "So ready to show me the warehouse now?" His face was green with panic as he asked, "Who the hell are you anyway?" Xiu looked at him and smirked. "Me?" Xiu flashed a crazed bright smile and answered, "A madman." A door in the alley appeared, inside a room filled with tools. His underlings were tied up, sitting still. A voice sounded, "See, this is my side." Xiu held a book and replied, "Don't make me laugh, you were just lucky." That voice spoke again, annoyed, "Is this the mana we risked our lives for? Smells entirely of bookworms." Xiu smiled brightly, looking at the notebook in his hand. "Yes, I recognized it immediately. At least one thing remains intact," he thought to himself as a locked book appeared. Min Jun's research diary. There's a protective seal on it, not a normal lock. He touched the lock, pondering, a formation that only opens with the owner's mana. That voice wondered, "Food source. This book won't open. Can you read it?" Xiu looked at his phone screen and answered grimly, "Doesn't matter. What I need isn't the book, but the mana inside it." He turned around, raising the phone to his ear. "Beyond, it's me." Xiu walked towards the door, leaving the tied-up people behind. "I have a dozen tied-up awakened criminals here. Come clean them up, bring a vehicle too." Jonggu on the other end heard the cryptic phone call. "We have somewhere to go." A wooden house appeared. A neutral zone where dark techniques and strange abilities were exchanged. A group of people walked around thoughtfully. Two meticulously placed talismans lay on the table. The black market of the hunter world. A cold draft gently blew past Black Heaven Pavilion. Grand Shaman Mu-Mi-ung sat on the floor thoughtfully looking at each card laid out in rows on the table. She used 2 fingers to touch a card and pick it up. Reading the card's meaning, she smirked, impressed. Grand Shaman Mu-Mi-ung, one of the 12 leaders of Black Heaven Pavilion, held up the card meaningfully. "Seems like an interesting guest is about to visit." "Ow." Xiu walked past Grand Shaman Mu-Mi-ung, sighing dejectedly. Compared to 10 years ago, not much has changed. A voice in his head offered an idea. "You're quite famous food source. Everyone's staring at you. Their abilities look really powerful. Maybe I should drain one of them dry and eat." 2 men in the distance stopped and looked at him. He half closed one eye, lazily replying, "No, this is a neutral zone. Causing trouble here is annoying." She leaned her hand on the cabinet. "Long time no see." Grand Shaman Mu-Mi-ung placed her other hand on her chest, gently inviting, "I've been waiting for you for a long time. Come in." Books were messily placed on the cabinet next to a locked box. The sitting mat was carefully spread on the floor. Grand Shaman Mu Mi-ung sat opposite Seo and spoke. Has it been 10 years? You haven't changed at all. His eyes drooped. Same as always. Nameless one. She rested her chin on her hand, flashing a bright smile. So no contact for 10 years, what have you been doing? Siu handed Grand Shaman Mu Mi-ung a locked book. It's a long story, not very interesting to tell either. Instead, I want you to extract mana from this Wam Iui Noart. She stroked her chin, amused. Still as straightforward as ever, huh? All right then, this is something I'm interested in too. Grand Shaman Mu Mi-ung reached towards the elegant silver cup placed on the table. She asked, Do you still remember how to do it? Enough. Siyu picked up the knife and aimed it at his hand. Blood flowed from his palm. Mana used through skills or magic once transformed. It's almost impossible to return it to its original state. The cup placed in the middle of the table was half filled with Sio's blood. Imagine a complete magic spell like a bowl of curry, Nanri. Grand Shaman Mu Mi-ung raised the silver cup and took a sip. You can scoop out solid things like carrots or potatoes from a cooked bowl of curry, but you can't separate the dissolved curry powder, water, and other ingredients back to their original state. However, this impossibility becomes reality thanks to the woman named Nameless One with the skill Mana Hacker. She looked at the book in her hand. An illegal means of power that challenges causality, a force that goes against the laws of nature. A small magic circle appeared beneath the book. Abilities like this are often associated with criminals. Grand Shaman Mu Mi-ung closed her eyes, holding the knife towards her wrist. That's why society always views them with suspicion. Her eyes turned pink with excitement. All right, done. Fresher and purer blood than ever before. It feels like life itself is dancing on the tip of my tongue. A voice spoke in his head. Her skill is really bizarre. Definitely doesn't suit me at all. Xiu pulled her wrist, causing a small spark of mana to flash by. Thanks for the compliment. Consider this one on the house. Grand Shaman Mu Mi-ung stroked her chin, watching his retreating back. Leaving already? He held the small vial and replied, I still have things to do. I'll be back next time. She gently crossed her arms, assessing, You truly are a mysterious one. On the highway at the traffic light, Frey's trembling voice sounded, That place gives me the creeps. I don't want to go back there ever again. The street was now deserted with no one passing by. Xiu rested one hand on the window frame while driving with the other. Frey, you're being too difficult today. That voice retorted, You and that woman are both perverts. Truly depraved. He closed his eyes and calmly spoke. What are you talking about? I just made a small cut on my hand. Frey asked dejectedly. So where to next? I just want to go home. The car driven by Seo glided silently through the streets. He said, Institute of Ancient History Research. He stood before the vast Institute of Ancient History Research and spoke grimly. This is where Minjun was murdered. Xiu pushed open the large wooden door and entered. Frey's voice was panicked. Food source. Now that you have power, you just barge into everywhere. That's illegal trespassing. Xiu reassured him. Don't worry. This building belongs to the Empire Guild. Luckily, Sijun bought and preserved this place early on. His eyes looked ahead in astonishment. I'm not the only one, Xiu mumbled as he saw illusions of many people ahead chatting cheerfully appear, still struggling to accept Minjun's death. His hand slammed down on the table. I need to see the memories of that day. He knelt down, placing his hand on the tile floor. Frey asked, Are you really planning to use that thing? A magic circle spread from his hand, forming a large one. Mana Memory Skill System. Display. Mana Memory. Rank Mysterious Effect. When using this skill, 1. The emotions the mana's owner experienced at a specific location will be recreated. The completeness of the image depends on the quantity and quality of mana used as a medium. Sparkling mana gradually accumulated in this room. Xiu intently watched the two illusions before him, replaying the past. The figure wearing glasses clutched his shoulder in pain and retreated. Frey grumbled, Is it because your mana is too low? I can't see clearly at all. He spoke helplessly. There's no other way. Anyway, mana memory only recreates the target's emotions, not their memories. Xiu lowered his head, thinking deeply. Minjun wasn't a weak hunter. He looked at the image of Minjun slumped against the wall. If he was killed so quickly by just one person, that means the culprit is extremely high level. His mouth faintly moved, uttering some words. Shu's face turned pale, seemingly having heard something shocking. He gritted his teeth and growled, "This is an order." A surge of mana surrounded the illusion of the cloaked figure. That figure smiled, revealing sharp teeth. Upper floor. Shu fell into thought, high-ranking individuals. So Min-jun wasn't just a member of the research institute, he also belonged to some organization. Frey asked worriedly, "Food source, are you okay?" Yiwa konao akane bor. The cup placed in the magic circle emitted a stream of air. Seo wondered, "What do you mean?" Frey began to recount. "Back in the demon world, you always talked about your disciples and your brother. Even after 100 years, you never forgot them. The moment you set foot on Earth, the first thing you did was search for them, but now you just witnessed your disciple die with your own eyes and you're still calm. Are you heartless?" He reached for something under the magic circle. "Frey, your vocabulary is getting richer." "Where did you learn those words?" That voice answered, "Netflix." He reached for something under the magic circle. "Frey, your vocabulary is getting richer. Where did you learn those words?" That voice answered, "Netflix." He held the small vial in his hand. Frey continued, "Right now, your emotions are churning so much it's making me sick, but outwardly, you show nothing, or rather, you can't." Siu turned and walked away, firmly saying, "I'm fine. After 100 years, this was bound to happen sooner or later." The door was opened by someone outside. Ryu covered half his face, standing formally, and asked, "Minsyu, right?" He scratched the back of his head and sighed. "Where the hell have you been wandering all day? Really too troublesome. Anyway, just follow me obediently. There's someone eager to meet you." Shu crossed his arms, looking at him scornfully. "1, 2, 3. You act arrogant, huh? Even while dragging along 6 little mice." Ryu was stunned by his words. He frowned, his voice full of threat. "I'll give you 2 choices. Choose one, be quiet, and let us tie you up and follow." Behind Ryu were countless other underlings. 2 resist, get chopped up, then get dragged away, covered in blood. Better than getting chopped. Shu didn't bother speaking, "Tie him up." Ryu quickly replied, "Understood." He clenched his fists, his mind determined before the brown-haired guy's bewilderment. A fierce black shadow pierced through the brown-haired man, making him bleed and cry out. Another blow was launched, causing his entire body to gush blood. Siu glanced at the little imp on his hand and smirked. "I actually prefer the get-chopped option." Frey hurriedly said, "You were tricked, idiot." The disciples charged towards him. "Wei-san, damn it, I'll kill you." A cold voice sounded, "Stop." Ghost frowned, a red mana aura surrounding his hand. "I'll handle this. That guy is my prey." Siu put his hands on his hips, intrigued. "Interesting." Ghost, with one muscular sturdy arm, looked at him and asked, "HMCS affiliate, Hunter Min-syu, is that you?" "Yes." His eyes narrowed with resentment as he spoke loudly, "Of Cerberus. You're the one who killed my brother." Frey spoke greedily. "Hey, food among all the ones I've encountered, this guy looks the tastiest." Shu scratched his neck boredly. "Brother, I'm not sure anymore. Do you ever ask the name of trash before sweeping it away?" Ghost's face darkened, his eyes becoming sharp. He gathered momentum and leaped up cracks, appearing on the tiles beneath him. "Bastard!" Ghost's hand, enhanced with power, shone brightly as it shot straight towards Seo. "I'll rip your heart out." His face became ferocious as he punched straight at Seo. A brilliant golden light appeared, healing the wound Ghost had inflicted. Seo flashed a bright smile, assessing, "Not bad, you're around rank A." He was so enraged his veins popped on his face as he thought, "Instant recovery, is he a healer?" Seo jumped back, retreating. The man charged furiously, yelling, "Insolent brat!" Ghost's 2 underlings turned pale with fear, whispering urgently. He blocked it. "The guild master's attack. Why are you still standing there?" "Charge!" Suddenly, Seo appeared, shoving his face close to one of them. "No, I can't let you interfere." Lightning bolts shot from the head towards Seo's position continuously, but he nimbly dodged them. System announcement, skill, lightning, flash blink. He was excited. "It's been a long time since I had such an interesting fight." Everyone present witnessed his incredible speed, wondering, a healer with a speed-enhancing skill. What kind of monster is he? Ghost watched him lift his disciple by the neck, thinking, he analyzed all my movements and dodged with minimal motion. He emanated a cold aura, gritting his teeth as he thought, never met a speed-type hunter in a gate who reached this level of precision. This guy, how wide is his field of vision? He's not normal. All the nutty. Ghost became determined. It's come to this. I have to go all out immediately. Seo glanced at him and asked, seems like you're misunderstanding something. The one held by the neck drooled profusely. Seo spoke, if guilty, whether it's your brother or your child, they must be punished. His eyes were sharp as he looked at them. You are awakened, criminals. Dying by my hand is only natural. Why act so wronged? The ones who should feel wronged are the ordinary people your brother harmed. He turned red with anger, gritting his teeth and growling, don't talk nonsense, you mean all criminals deserve to die. A past scene of young Ghost happily playing piggyback with his brother flashed by. He yelled, you know nothing about the life my brother went through. Just because you have power in your hands, you think you can do whatever you want. Idiot Ji Jian. My brother had no other choice but to become a criminal to feed and protect me when I was young. He just did everything to survive his own way. His sturdy arm glowed, surrounded by black energy. Your crime is trampling on that life without hesitation. Countless sharp magic arrows emerged from Ghost's body. His eyes filled with hatred as he looked at Seo and roared, pay with your life, system display, skill, heaven-piercing wolf, fang rank. A effect compresses, mana materializes it, then creates a series of synchronized attacks that track the target's movement. He stood motionless before the whistling arrows. I can't dodge this with just movement. Frey, use a skill. Frey grumbled, you're draining me food source. A prominent golden magic circle appeared before his eyes. He spoke decisively. Use it one last time, then rest. Leave the rest to me. Siu reached for the magic circle, reading aloud. Nullify. System. Display. Skill. Nullification rank. Mysterious description. Identifies the opponent's skill type and mana level, inputs the opposing attribute into the formula, then cancels it out with a magic matrix. Effectiveness depends on mana control ability and the caster's observation skills. He turned pale in panic as Ghost's arrows gradually vanished before reaching Shu dispelled. Ryu broke out in a cold sweat, gritting his teeth as he watched the fight, thinking, impossible. He has a high-rank skill that can nullify an A-rank hunter's skill. Damn it. Forget revenge. We're at a disadvantage now. Maybe we should just surrender. Mana surrounded Seo. He zipped close to Ghost. Hey people, in circumstances like your brother, do they all choose to become criminals? Don't try to sell me that cheap sentiment. He kicked him, roaring, outdated. Ghost was kicked far away, having to kneel to maintain balance. His underlings called out loudly, Guildmaster. His face was green as he crossed his arms before his chest, panting heavily and ordering, don't interfere. A vortex surrounded Ghost's hand as his face contorted, thinking, skills of that level can't be used continuously. If he's a healer, then I have the advantage in endurance. Healers run out of mana eventually. So I just need to get close and finish him quickly. I'll crush you with a focused heaven-piercing wolf fang. He charged towards Seo, but Siu was one step faster and dodged. He leaped up, grabbing Ghost's head, advising, don't use it. Siu punched him in the stomach. Don't use it. I said, don't use it. Grimaced in pain, Seo landed a painful punch on Ghost's face. This building is already dilapidated. Will you take responsibility if it collapses? You damn criminal! He started counterattacking, roaring as he used magic to attack Xiao Su, shot upwards. Ghost ordered, Ryu Yifeng, tie him up. Ryu placed his hands on the ground, creating magic chains while complaining, first you say don't interfere, then you tell me to act. Which one should I listen to? His chains bound Xiu's body. Seizing the opportunity while Xiu was bound, Ghost gathered all his resources towards him. My brother's enemy. I'll blow your entire body away, leaving no chance for recovery. Xiu reached out, creating a golden magic circle that gradually broke the chains. Congratulations to you and your brother for becoming criminals together. Siyu pushed the mana back surrounding him, stunning him. Life drain. System. Display. Skill. Life drain. Rank SS. Effect. Absorbs the target's life force within the area of effect. Ghost gradually withered his skin, wrinkling, almost revealing his bones. Ryu sat on the ground, trembling, stammering, What the hell? Is that a healer's skill? Siyu landed a golden mana aura appearing beneath his feet. He answered, Call the first skill I awakened when I became a hunter. That thing. From the beginning, I was never an ordinary healer. He raised his hand high, and the magic circle immediately pulled Ghost up, hovering above his palm. Instead of using mana to heal, life force, control, life force, according to my will, it's called necromancy. Understand? Siyu flashed a sinister smile, glancing at him. He turned towards Ryu. All right, next? He backed away in fear. Well, wait, won't resist, it's just… Siyu smirked and chopped his neck. All right, shut up. He spun around and left, wondering, did I clean up everything? Suddenly, Siyu touched his belt buckle. That's right, this time it should work properly, right? His face blurred before the screen. He held the phone and asked loudly, Hey, can you see Byung-gu? This time I wasn't the one who started the fight either, so it counts as self-defense, right? Jong-gu on the other end wiped his sweat and replied, Hunterman Siyu, the signal is coming through clearly, but countless people gradually joined Sio's live stream. He helplessly reminded him, You just pressed the live button instead of record. Scene changed to a room. Someone's voice sounded, This situation will definitely cause trouble for the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. The man wearing glasses opposite the old woman spoke up. Since when did HMCS start live streaming the process of suppressing awakened criminals? The man beside her was confused. This has been done for about 2 years now, serving as a promotional video for the HMCS International Headquarters to recruit talent. An image of a monster appeared on the phone. That voice continued, The idea is to live stream the criminal capture process through social media integration. But in reality, it was almost a failed project during the trial phase. There's no way HMCS could produce a video with decent quality. The man with glasses rested his chin on his hand, wondering, So recently, an extraordinary talent joined HMCS, but why did someone with skills like this come here? The old woman asked, Is that the most important issue right now? She waved her hand and continued, What's more noteworthy is that the person killed in this live broadcast was a guest hunter from the Sikh Guild in Hong Kong after verifying the video's authenticity. There were no legal violations by HMCS according to current law. But even so, although the video confirms no legal violations according to current HMCS regulations still, behind them a man paced back and forth. Sorry to keep you waiting. Choi Dae-soo, the current president of Korea, spoke coldly. All right, what is it? Everyone gathered to eat in the cafeteria during lunch break. A few days later at the Empire Guild cafeteria, people passed by endlessly. Si-jun sat opposite him, calling loudly, Hey, are you listening? He spoke frantically. That live stream video that was just released this time, you didn't even bother listening to me, right? Shio nonchalantly stuffed food into his mouth. No, I'm eating. I'm listening, Frey complained. Don't bother others while they're eating. Just quietly, enjoy the fried pork. His brother's eyes sparkled. The cafeteria here is really on another level. No wonder people call this a major guild. Can I eat here every day from now on? Si-jun felt helpless, face darkening. Of course, but at least listen to me first. He thought, lately, I feel like my brother is strangely obsessed with food. Siu ate ravenously while listening to him speak about that live stream video of Ghost from the Sikh Guild in Hong Kong. It's becoming a hot topic right now. Si-jun's voice sounded again. Luckily, because it was filmed from a body cam, the image is shaky and your face isn't clearly visible. He looked worriedly at him and continued, But if Choi Dae-soo finds out you're back, who knows what he'll do? Didn't you say last time that your mana hasn't fully recovered yet due to the effects of dimensional travel? Considering what Choi Dae-soo has done over the past 10 years to erase all traces of you, the best thing you can do now is lie low. Siyu picked up an egg roll and replied hastily, all right, Now, he stuffed that piece into his mouth and spoke. If you're that worried, I'll be careful and keep a low profile. Now eat. See June's face darkened as he grumbled. Honestly, do you think I'm a kid? I'm almost 30? CO casually replied, to me, you'll always be a kid. An astonished voice sounded, Guildmaster. Jisoo approached him and asked, why are you having lunch in the cafeteria, sir? Wait, that person. He looked at the group behind her, wondering, I'm sure I met them at the tower, but who are they? Jun slightly extended his hand. Hunter Shin Jisoo. She just joined our guild as a rookie. She replied, she even awakened an A-rank skill, but it's all thanks to Hunter. Min Shu, the guildmaster that told me your name. Odin. Wainaman. He looked at the man beside her. But if Hunter Siak is with Jisoo, there's a joint workshop for new hunters today, right? Everyone gathered here because of that? Taiji smiled. Yes, Guildmaster. The introductory voice turned towards the brown-haired man. This is Hunter, Ju Ha-min from the White Lion Guild. Then turned to the blue-haired man. And this is Hunter Yamato from the Han Soul Guild. Taiji smiled brightly, introducing. And I am Siak. Taiji from the Empire Guild. Hunter, Min Siu. I've heard a lot about you from the Guildmaster, but this is the first chance to formally introduce myself. He continued enthusiastically. I heard you've achieved quite a lot in HMCS. I look forward to working with you. Xiao smiled. Pleasure. An arm rested on Taiji's shoulder as he looked at Xiao and asked, HMCS, are you the sensational rookie causing a stir lately? Hamin continued. I saw the video of you killing Ghost. He was originally my rival, so you're the one in that video. He smirked. Sounds absurd to me. Taiji turned pale, confused. What's wrong with him today? Jun called out coldly. Hunter? Ju? Hamin? His face tensed as he growled, you're being extremely disrespectful to someone you just met. And right inside the Empire Guild headquarters, too. Yen? Ayu. Hamin exhaled sharply, acting nonchalant. What can't I ask questions? Geez, Empire Guild is so strict. Taemin broke out in sweat. Hey, have you lost your mind? Jun furiously yelled out a barrage. Actually, the White Lion Guild, your guild, should be the one ashamed of this attitude. I wonder how Guildmaster Cho Sung-in of White Lion would react if he knew about this. Hamin arrogantly placed his hand on his chest and laughed open-mouthed. Really? Are you planning to tattle to the higher-ups? I am Ju. Hamin Abum Rank Hunter, Asura of White Lion, direct disciple of Xiaolong Guild, master of Blackwater Lily. You think I'll be scared just because of a guild name? Xu nonchalantly put food into his mouth, chewing continuously. An image appeared in his mind. Xiaolong's disciple. He pointed at himself. From the start, Sung-in always spoils me. Someone clapped to intervene. All right, that's enough. Xiu leaned back in his chair, crossing his arms. Stop whining in someone else's headquarters. If you really want to verify, come find me yourself and confirm. Just looking tells me your so-called master completely failed to teach you manners. I wonder how well he trained you to fight. Hamin looked at him, gritting his teeth, thinking, this brat dares bring up my master. If we weren't in someone else's guild, I would have crushed him already. He angrily drew his leg up. Hamin glared at him warningly. Be careful and keep your life. Taiji turned pale, looking panicked at Jun. Damn it, that guy Guildmaster. I'm sorry, I'll handle this. Jun helplessly replied. It's fine. Just let him go. He turned back to look at Jun. Don't worry, brother. I'll handle that guy myself, and I'll also make the White Lion Guild compensate for property damage. At least several million won. Xiu nonchalantly replied, don't worry. You saw I held back as much as possible. A bright smile appeared on his lips. Anyway, he's just a disciple's disciple. I should go easy on him a bit, right? IEA. The cabinet was full of countless medals. A room filled with solemnity. A voice sounded in the room. All right then, I'll consider this matter. Resolved Guildmaster. Cho Sung-in, Baek John-ho, HMCS branch. Director lifted his teacup and took a sip. Normally handling this through documents would suffice. It's a true honor for you to personally visit our headquarters despite your busy schedule. Choi Sung-in, Guildmaster of White Lion, sweated. Not at all. This time it's not just cooperation. We also need to formally offer an apology. He chirped. Regarding the recent incident, I want to apologize for the disrespectful behavior of a member of our guild towards an HMCS rookie. We have discussed this matter with the Empire Guild, but I felt it necessary to personally meet the person involved to apologize. The director bluntly said, "No." John Ho suddenly laughed loudly. There's no need for the White Lion Guild master like yourself to personally apologize. Anyway, there was no physical conflict. Sung In was flustered. Even so, I know. The director continued, making him force a smile. Of course I know. What you're trying to do isn't apologizing but recruiting. John Ho looked at Sung In and spoke. However, that hunter is an invaluable asset to HMCS, and they are currently extremely busy. Right now they are carrying out a mission at the prison escorting awakened criminals, so they aren't even here. He wondered, that's regrettable. But isn't it rare for a prison to request assistance from HMCS? The director replied, rare but not unprecedented. Previously requests like these were mostly handled by the major guilds. John Ho asked, but from now on there will be more changes, right? Sung-in stood up. I understand what you mean, sir. By the way, if I cannot personally meet him to apologize, could you perhaps let Hunter Ju Hamin apologize directly? Oz. The director held his teacup leaning back in his chair. That's fine too. Anyway, this is a matter between the two of them. John Ho smiled brightly, watching him leave. Wish Guild Master Cho Sung-in a smooth journey. Oh wow. A transparent exit door appeared. Sung-in walked while thinking resolutely, you people really tried hard to hide him, but that doesn't mean I'll easily give up on a talent like that. He called Secretary SEO. The secretary immediately appeared. Yes, Guildmaster, he ordered. Contact Hunter Ju and tell him to prepare for a trip. Tell him to bring his most polite face possible. She looked at Sung-in and asked, understood. Where should I tell him to meet? A vast workspace appeared. He replied, Incheon. A fat man lay back in his chair, hot fanning himself continuously. Wasn't HMCS the one who sent the support request this time? Why haven't they arrived yet? The person standing at the door spoke seriously. They said they'd be here soon. The man glanced at the newspaper, grumbling, honestly locked up for months, what kind of trouble are they causing now? The fat man threw the paper down on the table. Can't criminals get along for once and right during inspection season too? So tiring. The newspaper showed a wanted person. He was indignant. Vol. This bastard was obedient when caught and went to prison, so I thought there'd be no problems. But then he suddenly went berserk like he lost his mind. The fat man continued. Even wearing mana suppression cuffs, he still seriously injured 5 people. The other guy heard and added, I heard in the underworld he was already an especially notorious criminal. Even investigative agencies struggled greatly to catch him. The man spoke up. Hurry up and get this burden to Gangbook as soon as possible. In a row of prison cells, 2 rooms gradually came into view. A voice from someone handcuffed sounded, Vol. A mouse ran to that person's feet. This is a message from Bestia. A cloaked figure placed the mouse on their hand. The other person asked, You already know about the upcoming meeting, right? The cloaked figure replied, The organization has already made its move here. You have a mission to complete if you want to get out. He squeezed the mouse tightly in his hand, making it squeak. That person's voice commanded, "'Cause some chaos in the prison?" Looked up ahead. He stood before the prison mumbling, "Is that the place? The prison for awakeners in Incheon?" Yehi. Haman held his head, speaking loudly. Did he just leave? He mumbled, grumbling, why the rush to transport prisoners like this, if it weren't for Brother Sung-in being so insistent? Wasi Dai. Haman glanced at the blue car driving away in the distance and asked, Wait, is that the car? The prison guard was confused. Probably, he angrily got into the car, exclaiming, Damn it, maybe I'll have to drive straight to Gangbook instead. The car driven by Ha Min quickly chased after the other vehicle. I definitely have to get overtime pay and allowance this time. Damn Guildmaster. Or Nestikrienturi. The car rolled quickly down the road. The prisoner transport vehicle headed forward. Si-jun leaned back in his seat in the car, drinking water. Suddenly, a voice called out, Hey! Vol glanced at him, smirking. You hurt my feelings, you know. Does drinking alone taste good? He grumbled. wondering, "Insolent brat, are you the guard at the prison I'm being transferred to?" Sejun answered his question, "No." Vol half closed, his eyes leaning back. "Then what did some big guild send you? I've never seen your face before. Judging by how you still followed, even after hearing my name, you must be very confident in your own strength." "Huh?" Shio spoke up. "Why?" His eyes sparkled as he looked at him. "Who are you?" He broke out in sweat seriously. Vol looked bewilderedly at Sejun. "You got in the car without even knowing who I am. What a lunatic." "At least you should know why a prisoner is being transferred," sighing. He took a sip of water looking at him. "Because you talk too much so you're being transferred." He was indignant. "You damn bastard." Vol pulled the cuffs taut. 5. His face darkened unpleasantly. "I have to wear these damn cuffs because I turned 5 awakened criminals into a pile of meat. Mushy. Now do you understand your situation?" Sejun drank water listening to his explanation. "What reason do you think an A2 plus rank awakened criminal would be transferred in a normal transport vehicle? And accompanied by an arrogant rookie guard too? Starting to realize the problem yet?" He continued as Sejun finished his drink. "You're dead meat." Large explosion boomed. The car exploded, damaged falling onto the grass beside the road. Ghost leaned on his staff standing next to someone sitting asking, "Is he dead?" Vol's leg kicked the door open as he roared, "Damn it, this crazy old man!" His head popped out of the window, speaking angrily. "Are you trying to kill me too?" The man swung his staff back and forth, laughing loudly at him. "If the gray wolf of Bestia dies this easily, then there's nothing to discuss. Now you just look like a leashed puppy." He angrily snapped, "Want me to pull out your dentures?" Ghost looked at Vol and asked, "Still can't take a joke? You definitely dealt with the escorting officer, right?" He stepped out of the car. "Of course I kicked him right in the temple the moment the car exploded. So he's probably lying somewhere now drinking brain-flavored coffee." Inside the car, Sejun lay sprawled on the floor next to a spilled cup of ice. He held out his cuffed hands. "Hey, can't you take these off faster?" The person sitting earlier came forward to unlock the cuffs. "If you don't want your wrists flying off, sit still. Mana technology is very sophisticated now." The cuffs broke off. "Done. I thought I was going crazy and would die." The brat sneered, "Stop exaggerating. It's only been a few months." A voice sounded, making the group freeze. "Freeze, you damn criminals." Hamin stood before them and spoke. "I was wondering why you guys chose this gloomy path. Finally caused big trouble, huh?" He continued. "I predicted this, but seeing him beaten to a pulp like this as expected, nothing special. Mr. Sung-in really has no eye for people. Moi now my beninar." Hamin clasped his hands tensely, looking at the criminals. "So, who are you guys? Which organization want to talk right here or get caught? Take a beating and then confess." The brat spoke grimly. "I've seen that face somewhere before. It's A+ rank hunter, Ju Hamin from White Lion. Since when has he been tailing us?" Ghost spoke up. "No other hunters detected nearby anymore. He's alone." Vol smirked with amusement. "Good. It's been a while since I stretched my legs." Hamin got into a fighting stance, speaking. "Stop whispering. I'll ask again. Who are you?" "You rotten criminals," he hinted. "But do you need to know?" He transformed into a terrifying bear wolf. "Either way, you'll die anyway." System display. Skill, bear wolf. Rank, A+. Description. Transforms the caster's body into a werewolf, can be maintained until mana is depleted. He gritted his teeth, thinking, awakened transformation type. Even so, just defeat him, he'll return to human form. Hamin roared, a red magic circle appearing behind him. "Arrogant trash." Both charged at each other. System display. Skill, Asura, Diamond Fury, rank A+. Description. By rotating the mana inside, the skill covers the entire body with an invisible armor, enhances close combat techniques, and higher rank force output will be engraved. He struck Vol's body in a row, put his hand up to block his attack. Think an A-rank skill increases the attack speed. How can it be a little troublesome if you face it alone? Hamin's hand raised with a powerful magic source that is incomprehensible, pondering in his head. What the hell is this? Obviously I feel the force of the impact of damage are also accumulating. He punched Vol repeatedly, but he didn't fall. But why isn't he falling? He blocked the blows disdainfully. Is this the welcome massage service? The brat put his hand on his head. But anyway, you've taken quite a beating. Huh. Ghost watched the fight and ordered. Who knows when backup will arrive? We don't have time to waste, kid, finish it. Hearing that, the brat extended his hand forward, creating magic in his palm. Understood. Tie him up. 10-headed Hydra. Haman glanced over and was stunned. Many hydras grew heading towards him. He yelled, "What are you planning to do with this snake?" Inosenentai. 2 hydra heads opened their mouths wide, aiming at him. Haman was tightly squeezed by 2 hydras, thinking tracking skill. Damn it. Seizing this chance, Vol launched an attack at him, mocking, "White Lion isn't anything special either, huh?" He took a painful blow, falling and rolling on the ground. The man spoke disdainfully. "What do you think you are just because you were spoiled in a big guild? In these dark alleys, you're just a loser." Brat. Hamin lay on the ground growling, "Damn it," acting high and mighty while it's 3 against 1. Vol lifted his leg and kicked him. "Stupid fool. Just sit there quietly and wait for backup." A ghost spoke up to remind him, "Vol, no more time, finish him." He replied, "Got it." Mana surrounded Vol's hand as he looked at him and asked, "Any last words? Even if you have them, I won't bother listening." Oh, he frowned, thinking, die in a place like this? A wall of earth appeared, blocking his attack and extending to his 2 accomplices. The brat took the hit, coughing up a mouthful of blood. Siu appeared with a brilliant golden mané aura. Giving up before the enemy? Did Xiao Long teach you that? Hamin's eyes widened in surprise. You still alive?" He touched his belt buckle. "It took me a while to figure out how to use this tiny thing. Which button is live, which is record?" Frey spoke up. "Are you old? Get a magnifying glass and look." Vol was stunned, disbelieving. "Impossible. I clearly smashed his skull before leaving." Ghost spoke grimly. "That brat is dead. Even I can't sense his mana flow. This isn't a normal skill." Hamin yelled to remind him, "Hey, you're no match for them. Wait for backup." Siu stood protectively in front of him, facing the criminals listing their crimes. Attacking and escorting officer first. Releasing the seal on an awakened criminal. Destroying the awakened prisoner transport vehicle, conspiring to murder a useless hunter, and daring to disturb my sacred coffee time. His body was surrounded by a powerful, brilliant golden mana aura. He spoke loudly. "Under the authority of HMCS Hunter. The 3 individuals before me are considered criminals, caught red-handed. All will be dealt with, right here." Siu created a mana shield against the wolves, solemnly declaring their death sentence. Under the rank authority of HMCS Hunter, the following 3 individuals are deemed criminals caught red-handed. All will be executed on the spot. Just then, red magical ribbons appeared behind him. Sio called out the name behind him. "Now, Xiaolong's disciple, lie there and watch carefully. Asura isn't just a simple offensive skill. His 2 hands touched, causing a powerful aura to radiate from it." The wolf didn't understand what trick Sio was pulling and became angry, charging and yelling, "This lunatic! What the hell are you talking about?" Just as it got close to Sio, it was struck hard in the face by him. He swung his hand, an invisible counterattack aimed straight at the wolf Sio, then yelled the skill name. It's a skill for piercing through skill Asura. Blood Rain Dark Armor. Rank? Mysterious Description. D. The ultimate form of the skill. Rapidly circulates mana flow within the body to create armor covering the entire form. Enhances close combat and leaves traces during movement. Haman witnessed this scene, mouth agape, in astonishment, almost dropping his jaw, thinking, that isn't that Master Xiaolong's ultimate technique. As the wolf was falling, Xiao immediately charged up, yelling, "If you want tender meat first, you have to drain all the blood." After he struck, a powerful mana attack hit the wolf directly. The mana flow created a circular formation, launching lightning bolts. Xiao then yelled the skill name, Mahoraga, Jir. The bald old man stood like meditating, his 2 hands radiating 2 Bagua diagrams. Skill, Heaven Thunder, /Mahoraga rank, A2+. Description, lightning element magic skill, simultaneously launches a wide area attack and a precise target strike. Seeing the old man completely unfazed after his attack made Xiao stunned. He dodged heaven thunder slash impossible, Masikra now. Then he calmly dusted off his clothes and spoke with underlying respect. Chain attacks with a cursed tool. Seems like you haven't wasted these past few years. I acknowledge that. The old man also exclaimed in surprise. What the hell, I've never seen a skill like this before. Is it edible? Just then, the bald old man swung his staff, emanating a terrifying deep red aura around him. Sio explained, no, it's more like a single-use scroll. If you infuse mana into another preset magic from the creator, it will activate. Creating this thing is very expensive, so poor hunters wouldn't dare dream of it. The old man replied dismissively, so it's just cheap junk food. Then I'm not interested anymore. Yuai? After seeing Sio use his skill, Hamin loudly questioned, Hunter Minmin Xiu, who are you? Why do you know my master's ultimate technique, SSS-Tier? Suddenly, his hand came up, as if playing a few drops of fresh, red blood splashing out. Just then, the bald old man appeared in front of Ha Min, surrounded by strange incantations. He warned in a deep voice, Don't act rashly, kid. Now, like an invisible suction force, Hamin was pinned tightly onto the old man's magic formation, unable to move. The bald old man still coldly threatened, Unless you want to witness him being crushed under my gravity field. Xiu showed no hesitation, smirking back. So while your comrade is being beaten half to death, you're sneakily plotting behind. Now you're threatening me. The bald old man pointed straight at him, decisively explaining, No, this is a deal. Let us leave here. If you agree, he will also be safe. Then the old man averted his gaze, softening his tone. You just happened to get caught up in this mission, right? If you leave quietly? Hearing the bald old man rambling nonsense, Xiu dug his ear mockingly. What the hell are you talking about? If I didn't have my own agenda, I wouldn't have accepted this dirty mission in the first place. Then he looked over at Xiu, lying miserably bound by the formation's power, and replied nonchalantly, As for him getting beaten up a bit, what's the big deal, right? Hamin cried out indignantly. What the hell, not a big deal? The bald old man saw their attitudes and felt a bit bewildered. Wait, you two aren't on the same side. Xiu just replied coldly. The ones truly on the same side are you people and the prison. Understay. Then Xiu dropped a bombshell that sounded like thunder to the old man. You're assassins specializing in hunting hunters, right? And you work for a large organization. He approached the bald old man, still calm, but his voice held high alert, carrying many high-level cursed tools, possessing skills to counter awakened abilities, and even having connections with the prison. It's clear. Now who do you work for? The bald old man, hearing this, as if hit spot on, created a small lightning orb, and angrily retorted, You figured out all those details and still dare come here alone. Kid, who the hell are you? What do you want? Xiu's face was ice cold as he impatiently emphasized his question again. I just said it didn't. What's this? Forgot to take out your hearing aid, I asked. Who do you work for? The bald old man could only give a blunt answer. The lightning orb on his staff intensified threateningly. If you take one more step, then a loud magic chant. Tremor. Xiu calmly swiped his finger down a bright trail of energy appearing from his swipe. That energy beam shot straight at his lightning orb, nullifying its power. Seeing this, the bald old man angrily yelled, My cursed tool! He knelt, touching the ground, heart full of bewilderment. Did he just overload it with a similar lightning-type skill? That should be impossible with a normal human's mana density. Xiu spoke again, mockingly. Doesn't the food look a bit more appetizing now? He looked at his glowing palm in surprise. 40% recovered already. Seems like a proper warm-up is more effective than expected. Xiu looked at the bald old man, panting heavily, and dealt a painful blow to his pride. Old man, stop wasting time. At your age, isn't every minute precious? The old man pointed at him stubbornly, retorting, You only know one side of the story. Even if we belong to an organization, do you really think we'll confess easily? Then the bald old man turned to the wolf and ordered, Get up, you bastard. Hamin slowly got up, looking over at Sio, who stood with his back turned, seeming uninterested in the old man's ramblings. Anyone belonging to a real organization has signed, Ijiu, a vow of silence. This vow is bound by the signer's own mana, and anyone who reveals the organization's secrets immediately becomes a target for execution. At that moment, the wolf had already sat up, coughing and cursing under his breath. Damn it! The bald old man still turned to scold. So you finally came to your senses, you blockhead. Xiu smirked mockingly, provoking him. Is that all? Are you afraid of dying? He immediately created a huge blue magic circle beneath his feet and mocked cruelly. If so, then don't worry, die a few more times and you'll get used to it. The bald old man pointed at him and ordered, V, do something. Already, don't just stand there. V reluctantly accepted. Got it. Damn, old man. He cast a spell covering himself in magic, then charged forward with determination to fight to the end. Even if I die, I'll tear you apart. As V charged at Sio suddenly, H-Min rushed in, standing between them, and said, Not that easy. He quickly wiped the dirt from his face and said, Finally, the numbers are balanced again. Vol roared angrily. You should have stayed down instead of getting in our way. At this point, H-Min still calmly replied, Nonsense. Now is when the real fun begins. At that moment, Siu was as cold as the Arctic, solemnly chanting Windcutter. Right after that, the magic circle beneath his feet unleashed a swirling aura engulfing both him and the bald old man. Skill, Heavenly, Wind Requiem, SS rank. A wide area wind element spell that manipulates atmospheric currents at extreme speed, dealing tremendous damage. Xiu grabbed the bald old man by the neck, whose body was limp, and asked, Well, how is it? The old man was completely unconscious. No movement, Xiu finally spoke. That's what death feels like. Suddenly, the old man grimaced and groaned painfully. Xiu showed no sympathy and coldly asked, How many times do you think it'll take before you answer my question? The bald old man grabbed his wrist, trembling. You what exactly are you? Xiu didn't answer, still pressing. One time still isn't enough. H-Min was stunned by the situation and thought, insane. Looking at Xiu, a bright light burst out, covering both Xiu and the bald old man, leaving H-Min horrified. He's healing them right before they die. If I were in that situation, I'd rather just die. That freakish healing skill. What the is it? After reviving them, Xiu crossed his arms, sternly asked again. I'll ask for the third time. Who do you work for? Vol had turned back into human form, kneeling with her face to the ground, pleading, Please stop. The old man speak, please. The bald old man finally gave in, weakly muttering broken words. Bestia, bestia. Hearing the answer, Xiu smiled in satisfaction. All right then, bestia. The bald old man looked at him and thought, I was half suspicious, but after seeing his skill, I'm sure one of the long lost. Three Legends Mad Dog Min Xiu. Xiu stepped closer, sat down, and gently said, Now that your mouths are open, let's begin the real conversation. Members of VE, he held up a glowing palm and asked, Do you know where that person is? The bald old man immediately recalled the image of a group of people, all wearing black cloaks, mysterious and eerie. That was the assassination organization Bestia, a group of elite assassins led by Crow. The old man continued, In this world, they are a formidable force in both skill and number. The mission was completed and I officially joined the Bestia Guild. He revealed, I spent a long time hiding in the shadows as a first-generation hunter, so I had no reason to hesitate when invited into such a major organization. Back then, the old man was writing the contract agreement. The bald old man continued presenting, for murderers belonging to an organization. Keeping secrets about comrades is the minimum rule. The moment you vow silence, your life and death are in the organization's hands. Just then, invisible chains wrapped around his neck, signifying the bald old man would be controlled by them, as he revealed more loyalty until your head falls to the ground. That's the rule of this world. Back to the present, the old man's face darkened as he wearily recounted, It's been 15 years since I joined the organization. I never thought of betrayal. I'd rather bite my own tongue and die. The bald old man looked up at Sio, seeing his terrifyingly emotionless attitude, and weakened, confiding, but after tasting death really many times, my mouth gradually loosened. A voice from the communication screen on Sio's hand suddenly exclaimed, "That guy is one of the members of Bestia." Yao Mao. That guy had bandages wrapped all over his head bearing fierce fangs as he said, codename Black Mamba. Hearing that Sio clenched his fist to disable the communication screen, rubbing his chin dejectedly. Black Mamba? What a name. Anyway, so you guys are from that organization. Then he continued questioning them. Well then, I have a question for both of you. Vol, lying on the ground, raised his head, trembling, listening to him. Siu looked straight at him and asked, "Have you ever received a mission to assassinate Hunter Yong Minjun?" Seeing Vol still uncooperative, Sio uttered a freezing sentence, not answering. Seeing his power, Vol could only slam his fist on the ground, thinking, killing intent. His whole body trembled in fear, not understanding why, cursing inwardly, "Damn it! It feels like my face is being peeled off. What kind of monster is this?" Fearing Sio's anger would lead to more violence, the bald old man quickly replied, No, even though it's called an organization. In reality, we're just a group of scattered individuals. Cooperation is very rare. We don't even know each other's identities or whereabouts. However, there's a reason we came to get this wolf out of prison." Easy. After hearing this, Sio didn't know what to say. Hamin behind him had a headache in confusion. The bald old man recalled the round table meeting of the Bestia organization and recounted, "It's because of the organization's meeting held once every 2 years. It will take place next week. The organization ordered us to free him and attend the meeting together." Now the old man had abandoned his earlier arrogance, respectfully telling Sio, "If you wish, sir, we will tell you everything about the location and infiltration methods and will wholeheartedly assist you, D.A." The bald old man suddenly knelt, bowing his head to the ground, pleading respectfully, "Please accept us as your subordinates, sir." Seeing the old man doing such a disgraceful thing, Hamin yelled, "What nonsense are you people talking about? Boss, you're not seriously going to accept this bunch of criminals, are you?" Surprised by being called boss, Sio replied indifferently, "Since when did I become your boss?" Hamin recalled Sio's earlier battle and said, "You used Asura. Just by looking, I can tell you're connected to my master, at least a fellow disciple, maybe even my master's senior." He patted Siu on the shoulder in a friendly, confident way and said, "So boss, don't take in those criminals. Take me as your disciple instead. I may have been a bit rude at first, but if you accept me, I vow to become your loyal follower." Siu stood up, dusted off his coat, and coldly responded, "Shut up." Haman sulked but reluctantly replied, "Yes, sir." Siu stroked his chin thoughtfully, weighing his options. What he truly wanted was information about that damn snake, Black Mamba. As for these guys, if he ignored them, the organization would eliminate them anyway. Then he glanced at the 2 men kneeling before him and hesitated. But if they revealed anything about him to Bestia first, that would be troublesome. At that moment, he gave an answer suitable for all 3. "Fine, I'll take you in as subordinates." Seeing himself lumped in with the 2 scoundrels, H-Min angrily protested, "No way, boss." The bald old man, hearing this, joyfully exclaimed with gratitude, Thank you, my lord. We swear loyalty and will never become a burden to you." Siu suddenly spoke up, "But there's one condition." He looked down at the 2 and gave them his demand. "Even if forced, someone who has betrayed once can betray again. You must swear the Mana Oath." Vol, hearing the name of that familiar oath, turned pale and whispered to the bald old man, "The Mana Oath, a binding contract, breaking. It will seal your mana core. Damn it, another damn collar contract." Though reluctant, the bald man still ordered, "Vaughn, shut up, Vaughn. Do you want to die another dozen times?" Seeing the 2 had agreed, Sio created a magic circle and pointed it straight at them, shouting loudly, "ASA now. Now focus your mana into your core and declare your name." The bald old man bowed and said, "I am Red Ghost." V stammered right after, I am Sir Vaughn." Seeing this, Sio was secretly pleased the errand boy had now become his underling. Siu then said, "Red Ghost Sir Vaughn, from now on you're my subordinates." Haman, hiding behind a tree, was speechless. A contract paper appeared, and Seo loudly declared, "The price of loyalty is my protection. As long as you're bound by the oath, your lives will be safe." "Understood," the bald man hurriedly replied. "Yes, we obey," and pushed Vaughn's head down. Vaughn echoed, "Yes, we obey." Finally, they completed the contract. Seeing that H-Men jealous jumped out whining, "Hey, what about me? You take in criminals but won't accept me. If you don't make me your disciple, I'll report you to the association." Xiu threw him a glowing red stare with a sinister smile. Haman quickly retracted his words. I, I'm sorry, I was just kidding." After finishing the spell, the contract paper slowly faded. At that moment, Seo spoke up. "The meeting takes place in 1 week, right?" Then he turned away and said, "Come disciple Haman." Haman eagerly responded loudly, "Yes." Siu finally said, "I'll accept you as my disciple." Haman cheered like a child and obediently replied, Really, boss? No master?" Siu sighed and bluntly said, "I need as much manpower as possible for what's coming." Then he turned and thought, "Now, with 4 people, it's enough to stir up some chaos." He turned his back first, thinking, "Now there are 4 just enough to cause chaos." Behind him, Hamin pointed arrogantly at the other 2, threatening, "See, I am now the great disciple of a grand figure, if you dare mess with me." The bald old man didn't understand what was happening and wondered, what the hell is he talking about? Siu smiled with satisfaction, then thought, but it seems I'll need one more person to clean up the battlefield afterwards. Scene changed to a prison somewhere. Inside, a terrified scream echoed, "What the hell is happening?" The fat warden slammed his hand on the table angrily, questioning, "The prisoner escaped from the transport vehicle. Do you understand how dangerous he is? And the entire escort team is still alive. Does that mean he just ran off? I heard HMCS has been very efficient lately. Turns out it's just baseless rumors." Yakai. Jonggu thought of Seo and quickly explained, "He was so fast I couldn't keep up." Feeling the absurdity of his lie, he covered his mouth and thought, if I'm going to lie, at least make it a bit believable. Thinking just saying, "cleaned up the scene" solves everything. How ridiculous. The warden pointed at Jonggu questioning, and the rookie escorting officer. This is serious negligence. HMCS must take full responsibility for this incident. Seo spoke up, "Warden, Iron Rai." Then he explained carefully. Normally, when escorting an awakened prisoner, there are at least 4 to 5 officers accompanying. Especially when transferring inmates to higher security prisons, the number can go up to 10. This made the warden speechless. Then Jonggu pushed the responsibility onto the warden. "But this time you specifically requested only 1 person be sent, not counting the driver from Incheon prison. No more." Seeing himself exposed, the man turned pale, stood up abruptly and yelled, "What do you mean losing the prisoner is still HMCS's responsibility?" Jonggu remained calm and replied, "According to what I heard, Wakimao." Then he continued speaking. The rookie escorting officer reported that, right before escaping, the prisoner confessed to bribing the superiors of this prison. The warden turned pale, panicking. What, that officer's surveillance camera was off, right? Then it's obvious he's making things up. Jonggu replied firmly with authority, "Correct. We cannot fully trust that testimony, but once the matter has been mentioned, we have a responsibility to verify it." "Right. Therefore, HMCS will conduct a comprehensive investigation into the escaped prisoner and this prison." Just then the door opened and another group of police entered. Then he spoke sternly, voice cold as ice. "We expect your cooperation." Then Jonggu looked over Ma Defro's feet, rooted, exclaiming, "Xiu." Seeing Xiu standing with crossed arms very seriously, Jonggu immediately reported, "As you instructed, sir, I have handled everything related to the escort mission. We have also opened an investigation into the bribery incident involving the assassination organization, but..." He looked over at Hamin, Hunter, Jew, Hamin codename White Lion, then looked at the bald old man calmly drinking water, an old man with an unclear identity. Jonggu saw Vol and recognized him. "And that guy, isn't he the prisoner who just escaped?" you asked. As he finished speaking, Xiu quickly covered his mouth and interrupted, "Shut up and sit down, Jonggu. It's a long story." A moment later, everyone gathered in Xiu's private office. He sat front and center, arms crossed, announcing seriously, "Now let's begin the mission briefing." Siyu began presenting his plan to his subordinates. "Tomorrow we will infiltrate the meeting of the assassination organization, Bestia. This is an important gathering, where about 8 high-ranking individuals specializing in hunting hunters will be present. These traders will explain the infiltration plan in detail, so Jonggu and Ha-min listen carefully." After hearing his plan, Jonggu found it unreasonable and retorted, "Wait, wait. You mean we're going to infiltrate a meeting of an assassination organization? Without any official backup and just with a small group like this? What's the real objective of this mission?" Siu grinned and replied, "Naturally, destruction." Meanwhile, the Bestia organization was also gathering its members for discussion. Scene changed to the secret chamber of the Bestia organization. Now the members of the organization were gathered sitting around each other. One spoke up, "It's rare to see everyone here today." The brown-haired girl noticed someone missing and spoke irritably, "Idiots Red, Ghost and Vol aren't here. 2 missing, the brat is dead." The young man beside her also spoke angrily, "I haven't even counted those traitors yet. Idiots." The long brown-haired man also hadn't foreseen this, saying they didn't seem like the type with enough guts to betray the organization. Truly surprising. The purple-haired person beside him added, "Maybe we should just deal with them then." Bokyu Pin clenched her pigtails angrily and said, "Vol, you bastard, we were planning to go to Disneyland together. I'll kill you." A voice suddenly cut through the others, rambling, "Enough!" A guy with a scar right on his mouth stood up and ordered, "The decision to deal with the traitors belongs to the boss." Crow, the boss who had been sitting there all along, finally spoke up. "What's wrong? I actually find these things interesting. Go on, 3 people absent from such an important meeting. Even I find it surprising." Then he looked around at everyone and asked, "So does anyone else want to say anything?" But the other members just lowered their heads, not daring to object. Crow spoke again, continuing, "Or perhaps." Then he presented his idea with a dangerous smile. "We hold a death match to decide who will deal with the traitors." As Crow finished speaking, everyone fell silent, leaving an awkward atmosphere. Another member turned to him and reminded him uncomfortably, "Boss, your jokes are terrible. You should stop." Black Mamba also stated his viewpoint. "Punishing the traitors can be done anytime, but the real problem is that they already know the time and location of the meeting." The brown-haired guy replied confidently, "So what? What can those 2 insignificant nobodies do? Do you think they'll charge in here right now?" Suddenly, the alarm blared loudly. A speaker announced an emergency report. "Alert, alert, unidentified movement detected at entrances 1 through 5. The members were stunned and bewildered. Crow calmly rested his chin on his hand, sighing, "Speak of the devil." The guy with the scar wearily stood up and ordered intruders. "There are 5 entrances, so each person handle 1 spot." The brown-haired guy sighed boredly. "So annoying." The brown-haired girl felt annoyed and complained, "Oh God, and I just wore new clothes today too." The members who received the order left their seats and departed. Black sat still and spoke, "Handle it quickly and come back." Crow cheerfully bid farewell. "See you later." Before leaving, the guy with the scar didn't forget to turn back and ask, "Wait, boss." A sigh. "What about you, Boku Pin? Black Mamba, aren't you going either?" Black calmly drank tea and replied, "I have no interest in small fry." Bokupin was engrossed in her phone and indifferently said, "There are enough people already. I'm going to play around. Year." Just then, on the ceiling in the air vent, Jonggu, appearing from nowhere, was stealthily looking down, observing their discussion. Crow turned and said, "Thinking back now, I should have told them to bring back heads to confirm identities. These guys are really too violent." Black immediately soothed him. "Boss, just the fact that you could leash these wild beasts is already admirable." Jonggu heard their discussion, terrified, thinking inwardly, "I've never even won a 50,001 lottery ticket in my life, and now I hit the jackpot like this." 30 minutes earlier, Sio's group had arrived at Bestia's secret chamber. Jonggu announced, "This is Bestia's meeting hall." Hamin also exclaimed, "They really found a perfect ant nest. Why?" The bald old man explained the layout details. "There are 5 entrances in total. Each has sensors to detect intruders. Because the internal layout changes frequently, we can't determine where each passage leads. He visualized Bestia's secret chamber and continued presenting. But these 5 passages are the only way out. And they all lead back to the main hall where the targets are meeting. No matter which path we choose, we'll reach the hall. It's just a matter of how long it takes. Year. Shu thought carefully, then told everyone the plan. All right then, each person take one path. If we all go the same way, the targets might escape through another exit. And then he turned and asked, Jonggu, did you bring the walkie-talkie? Jonggu quickly fumbled through his bag and replied, Yes. Shiyu then deployed the course of action for his team members thoroughly. Good. We'll advance. Each person takes one path, because they have sensors. Just assume they already know we're coming and are prepared. If you encounter an opponent too strong to handle, use the walkie-talkie to notify me immediately and hold them off as long as possible. He continued, especially if the target named Black Mamba appears, report immediately over Bestgang. Everyone yelled, Roger, let's move. The group began to move out. Jonggu was hiding on the other side. After assessing the situation, he thought, everything's still okay. He started exploring the rooms thinking back. But not long after I entered the designated path, the way was blocked, so I found a way through the nearest air vent. Thinking and doing, Jonggu immediately climbed into the air vent above the ceiling. It turned out this was when he overheard the Bestia organization discussing. He was astonished, thinking inwardly, and somehow I was the first one to reach the main hall, without encountering a single fight. Didn't they even bother turning on the sensors in this passage? Everyone here is at least A+ rank. Security seems lax. But with the layout leading straight to the center like this, they don't need defense, just wait for intruders to step in and kill them on the spot. Jonggu was still hiding in the air vent, full of unease and worry. The guards have gone to check the entrances, meaning 5 battles are happening simultaneously. Even if I call for backup now, they can't regroup immediately. He then took out 2 marbles from his bag and made a bold decision. Maybe I should reduce the enemy numbers myself first. Jonggu then dropped a marble down towards the Bestia members sitting below. Bokupin curiously went to pick up the marble. A marble. How did it get in my pocket? Crow immediately mocked her, Bokupin still playing slot machines. Bokupin thought it was her marble and pouted back. Sorry, but I hit the jackpot yesterday. Just as her hand touched the marble, an instant large explosion occurred. Crow remained calmly seated looking at the rubble where Bokupin was wondering, is she dead? Black realized something unusual, jumped up and said, a nimble little mouse has snuck in. Whack. While they were focused on the explosion near Bokupin just then, a grenade was thrown out. The grenade thrower was Black again. He spoke as if subtly reminding Jonggu, nice ambush, but as if knowing his position, Black threw the grenade straight up at the ceiling, coldly calling out, I don't like hide and seek. The ceiling where Jonggu was hiding immediately shattered into large pieces, forcing him to jump down. As soon as he landed, Black and he charged at each other. Black immediately recognized him. You are an HMCS member, Hunter Huang Jonggu. After dodging Black's blow, Jonggu landed further away. He looked at the 3, seeing only Bokupin caught in the trap, thinking angrily, damn it, only took down 1. Black observed Jonggu's every move, analyzing inwardly. Even after using specialized anti-terrorism magic grenades, they're still intact, especially the one who looks like the leader. Something's off about him. He doesn't seem to be using any special skills. Black then asked him mockingly, you didn't come alone, so what did the traitors run to HMCS and spill everything? Jonggu gritted his teeth, frowning, and replied, what if they did? Black coolly said, I'd be impressed risking your life to leave the organization just to choose. Then he smiled, insulting Jonggu, something even more useless. As Black finished speaking, Jonggu felt insulted and threw a flare straight at him, cursing, bastard. Just as Black was blinded by the flare, 3 daggers were flying straight towards his head. Crow calmly drank tea as if watching a play, commenting, not bad. Black calmly continued, I almost forgot your skill is. Looking at the 2 daggers hovering near Jonggu, he said, telekinesis right. Meanwhile, Jonggu was kneeling on one knee, holding a grenade, thinking worriedly, damn it, his skin is too tough, his regeneration is too fast too. It's just mana body enhancement, but his speed and durability are insane. Black immediately charged forward saying, that's enough for a warm-up. He slammed hard into Jonggu, sending him flying back against the wall. The impacted wall cracked and shattered. After attacking Black nonchalantly turned to ask Crow, I didn't intend to leave fingerprints on his organs, but since you started bleeding, I have no other choice. Boss, can I kill him? Crow hesitated slightly before replying, let me think about it. Jonggu immediately took out his walkie-talkie to notify his teammates. This is Huang Jonggu, engaging targets in the main hall. There are two criminals. Before he could finish, he was kicked hard in the chest by Black falling backward. He stepped on him and said, seems like you're a bit slow. Black then asked him mockingly, now then, who's coming next? The HMCS branch director, the traitor Red Ghost, or that wolf cub. Or perhaps, just then, Xiu's group rushed over to help Jonggu. As Black finished speaking, all of them nuts. Right then behind him, he saw all the members of Xiu's group charging close above his head, while Black was rambling, all of them. Xiu's group was already charging towards him. Just as they touched him, a large explosion occurred. Black leaped back again, dodging the explosion, murmuring, impressed, this is a bit surprising. Seeing Xiu's group all present, none missing, made him exclaim in admiration. Unexpectedly, you managed to get past Bestia's assassins so easily. Black turned to gauge Crow's reaction. Boss, you must be very disappointed, right? Crow, learning his subordinates had been defeated, couldn't help but sigh wearily. I thought I'd picked a few decent ones, but unexpectedly, they're this weak. Even so, something's not right. Based on the wounds, there was clearly a fight. He looked at Xiu's group. Each of them emanated a powerful aura surrounding themselves. Then Black angrily charged forward, arrogantly saying, but I don't think you could take down Tigre or Grizzly that easily. Each step he took created large tremors, shattering the floor. Haman charged forward like a madman, murderous bastard. He gathered mana, aiming straight at Black, yelling, you talk too much? He gently grabbed the side of his arm, recognizing him. White Lion Guild, your hunter, Ju Hamin. Then Black threw Hamin backwards, saying, someone like you, why are you here instead of going with HMCS? He was thrown, hitting Jonggu directly. Hamin quickly yelled, sorry. Black observed the bald old man and Vol also struggling, thinking, no matter how I look at it, nothing makes sense. He finally realized their true relationship and revealed bluntly, you don't act like a team, just a messy bunch thrown together. You come from completely different organizations. There's no reason to gather here. Who is it? Who gathered you? A hand was gripping the hair of a defeated opponent. It turned out to be Xiu, where he was. Now he had finished cleaning up all the henchmen of the Bestia Guild. Hamin angrily yelled, this bastard, is he looking down on Ju? Hamin of White Lion, hey, snap out of it. Jonggu wiped the blood from his mouth, reassuring him. How did you get here so fast? Hamin continued, as soon as I heard the radio, I rushed straight here. I wanted to say that too, but actually, Hamin recalled fighting one of the Bestia members and recounted, I was fighting someone near the entrance. But then Master suddenly appeared and ordered me to head straight to the center. He looked over at Vol and the bald old man fighting fiercely with Black and said, maybe Vol and Red Ghost are in a similar situation. Anyway, before Master arrives, we have to hold that guy off. Vol sensed he might lose and worriedly said, damn it, how can I control an A+ rank awakener without killing him? And that's Black Mamba too. The bald old man struggled with the debris underfoot caused by Black, saying bewilderedly, he hasn't even used any skills yet. And this hall, something feels very wrong. In his heart, the old man was well aware of Black's abilities. Awakened transformation type Black Mamba. In terms of speed and attack power, he's almost the second strongest in Bestia, but he doesn't have high-level sensory or tracking skills. The bald old man paused, speculating inwardly. That means he prepared something beforehand, or maybe it's Crow, the leader of Bestia. He looked over at Crow, who hadn't made a move all this time, just sitting there smiling very calmly. The old man told himself, his skills are still a complete mystery to me. Who knows what card he'll play? Suddenly, a large club slammed into the ground, sending a shockwave. It was the bald man launching his move. He created a large magic circle and announced, "I'll handle the boss, the rest of you restrain Black Mamba." V, just dodging Black's kick, grumbled, "Why does all the dirty work always fall on me? Damn it, old man." Break, furious, stomped down like crushing a weed and said, "So no one's answering my question, huh?" At that moment, H-Min was already leaping from behind him. The bald old man braced his hands against the ground to stabilize his magic circle and declared, "Until Master arrives, no one leaves here." He then swung his hand forward and shouted, "Seal formation." From his palm burst a surge of majestic mana. He created a chain that wrapped tightly around Black. H-Min saw a burst of mana shoot out and quickly leapt up to dodge. The red chain also wrapped around Growbuck and, unfazed and unshaken, simply asked, "Really? Are you guys actually trying to force me to fight?" The bald old man pointed at him and ordered, "Stay still, Crow. Even for you, escaping a legendary grade seal formation won't be easy." Aye. Crow grabbed the chains and, still smiling, said, "Your new master sure seems to care a lot about you. Even brought out these heavy-duty tricks just for you. But flipping sides and betraying the organization like flipping a coin, isn't that a bit cold?" he added. BK Pin looked at Crow, confused, not knowing who he was talking about. Suddenly, from behind the bald man, Pin charged in and tackled V. Kot panicked and shouted. Old man Yonggu was equally stunned and asked, "Well, what is going on?" "She was definitely dead," he exclaimed. Black, who had been silent, finally spoke up. "Seems wasting time with you all is pointless now." Facing H-Min, he calmly said, "We're actually quite busy, you know. No telling when reinforcements might arrive, and we've got a mess of a failed organization to clean up." Break then transformed into a dragon skill, Dragon Blood Grade A2C, a transformation spell that turns the caster into a poisonous lizard form until their mana is drained. He then coldly stated, "So you'd better die quickly." Jonggu dropped to one knee and said, "Hunter Chu Haman, I'll support you from afar." Haman, concerned, didn't want him to keep fighting, saying, "Your ribs are cracked. Don't move. No matter how strong he is, he won't be able to break through that scale armor right away." So both Yong and Haman leapt at the same time, dodging the tremor below and shouting in unison, "Run now!" Haman threw a punch at Break, but he dodged it easily. In this situation, Haman wasn't worried. From the very first clash, he realized Break's variant form was similar to VK, but his mana density was too high. And this haul, he was controlling the ground like it was part of his own body. Haman realized he couldn't take Black head on. He devised a plan in this situation. He was just a living punching bag. Black's endurance was overwhelming. He could only stall for time. He glanced over to see V still fiercely battling Pin, and thought, "The others are having just as much trouble. We can't count on reinforcements." Haman froze, staring at Black's incoming punch, furious. "Damn it! No one's ever said I couldn't carry my own weight." Suddenly, a dagger flew out of nowhere and pierced Black's arm. It seemed poisoned, releasing a terrifying aura. Even Black reached to inspect the wound, and it turned out the one who threw the dagger was Jonggu. Break realized something alarming. He's using elemental magic now too. Break collapsed, writhing on the very ground he had destroyed. Above Jonggu, a massive stone was falling. Haman shouted a warning, "Above you, Jonggu." While Haman was panicking, a cocky voice rang out, "You still have time to worry about each other." Suddenly, Break leapt up, swinging wildly, and sent Yonggu crashing hard to the ground. He stood amidst the thick dust and declared, "Hunters from the righteous side always make the same mistake." Black grabbed Donggu's neck from behind and said, "You think skill levels and mana stats determine the outcome of a battle? You walked in here of your own will. Did you really believe we wouldn't prepare defenses for our own headquarters?" Donggu gasped for breath, coughing. B-Kill Pin launched lightning bolts and screamed furiously, "Die, Von Traitor, die!" Scene shifts to another place. Everything's in chaos and ruin, as if something had just torn everything apart. Break revealed. The entire main hall was rigged with self-destruction pursuit traps and reinforced defenses for emergencies. On the other side was a clear lake surrounded by boulders forming a magic circle. He continued, "This is the snake's den. The moment you stepped in, your fate was sealed." Seeing Yonggu trembling and clutching his hand break cruelly added, "So stop struggling, just die peacefully already." His eyes gleamed fiercely as he invoked his deadly spell. Suddenly, someone broke through an entire section of the wall to barge in. Luckily, Yonggu was still safe. Kneeling on the ground gasping, nearby a figure rushed past. It was none other than their savior Siu. Siu rushed forward, grabbing Black by the throat with one hand and slamming him against the wall. Siu grinned maniacally, veins bulging, and said coldly, "Finally found you, you bastard." Min Siu cornered Black Mamba against a crumbling wall and growled, "Found you, you venomous snake." Meanwhile, Pokin was fighting Serifi. She lunged forward and demanded, "Who are you?" but was quickly counterattacked. Sio's magic had disrupted everything. Understay, the boss. Asai stood in a corner observing and muttered, "Impossible. He just neutralized all magic in this area." As Sio held out his hand to dispel it, a voice rang out, "That's only possible because I'm helping him. He's not that skilled on his own." Asai clapped with amusement. "Impressive. This facility cost millions to build and you turned it into scrap in seconds." Just then Mamba's hand began to move. "At first, your sudden appearance surprised me," he said. Then using his claws he slashed at Sio, forcing him to retreat. "Now I understand," he said, glaring at Sio. "You're the one suspected of killing Bestia's assassins and gathering this crew." Shiyu immediately shot back, "You're the real suspect, you bastard." Asai also chimed in curiously, "I think he's here because of you, Mamba. What did you do?" Inesayao. Mamba denied it. "No way, Captain. I only took the job." He put a hand over his mouth thinking, "But from what he's saying, this is revenge." He kept rambling, "I never leave a trace after a kill, but somehow you still track me down." Hearing that, Sio's face turned grim. He raised his hand and formed a magic circle saying, "Revenge. First, I need to know something." Immediately the magic circle released lightning bolts surrounding Mamba. Asai was about to speak but was interrupted. "Hold on, you." An old man in Seri 5 had subdued Mamba. He raised his staff and warned, "Don't move. He wants answers." Meanwhile, Jonggu helped Pak pin up. Seeing the situation getting tense, Elder Asai raised his hands in surrender. "I didn't mean to provoke you. What makes you so loyal to him?" He glanced at Sio, wondering, "Who is he?" Lightning from Sio's magic circle closed in. Mamba was trapped, shielding his head with both arms, muttering angrily, "Damn it. The spells I chanted earlier are now turned against me." He carefully observed Sio's every move and thought, "He's figured me out. He must be a scout." His attack speed far surpasses a typical close combat hunter. A loud crash echoed. Mamba was slammed into the wall with such force it dented inward. Wounded, he fell to the ground, bracing himself, and gasped, "I've never met anyone like you in my life." His hand began casting magic as he questioned Sio. "I pride myself on knowing the faces of every high-ranked hunter. But who are you?" Mamba's magic started spreading forward. He yelled, "What do you want from me?" But Sio was no longer in front of him. He had already moved behind him at incredible speed, saying coldly, "I think you're misunderstanding something." Then he stomped Mamba's head down, adding, "I'm the one asking questions, not you. Don't you get it?" Sio said, "I'm being very careful with you right now." With each sentence, he stomped Mamba again, threatening, "I could kill you right here, so stay put until I say you can move." Mamba lay in pain on the ground, trying to speak, "Stop! Stop!" Suddenly, Siu grabbed his face and asked coldly, "Higher than VIPs?" Siu, furious, demanded, "Who hired you to kill Young Min Run?" That's when Mamba suddenly recalled the young archaeologist Jung Min Run. A twisted smile slowly formed on Mamba's lips. "So you're connected to Jung Min Jun." Siu gave a cold order. "Talk, I thought you wanted to live." Mamba grabbed Sio's wrist and stammered, "Oh, of course, I'll talk." But as soon as he had a grip on Sio, he opened his fang-filled mouth and revealed a magical seal on his tongue, shouting, "But even if I tell you, you won't hear it, because your ears will melt off." Then he spat venom directly at Sio's face. Mamba nervously laughed. An assassin can't reveal a client's identity. But Sio, completely unaffected by the venom, just growled, "Did you just spit in my face?" He wiped his face and erased all traces of poison. "So, you don't want to talk seriously, huh?" Then I'll make you want to talk, not. Seeing this, Mamba was stunned, speechless. Regeneration, he's a healer. No way out now. Mamba turned to Elder Asai and begged for help. "'Kay, Captain." But Asai just replied calmly, "Sorry, I'm surrounded too." Cornered and desperate to survive, Mamba finally broke, "I'll talk. I'll tell you everything." The client was Pemo. As soon as he said it, blood started pouring out. Shu, covered in blood, muttered curiously, "Pandemonium." At that moment, Captain Asai's red eyes widened as he laughed. With just one hand, he unleashed enough force to break free from everyone restraining him. Cheerfully, he took off his hood. "Now I know who you are." He had already recognized Sio's identity. "You're one of the first-generation hunters who disappeared years ago, the mad dog Min Xiu." Xiu frowned and asked, "You're with Pandemonium too?" Asai chuckled, "No way. My group is made entirely of assassins. We don't take personal jobs. Assassins are just tools." He looked down at the defeated bloody Mamba. Then he added, "But I knew from your power, and how you knew about Pandemonium. She told me once about a first-generation hunter with strange healing powers." Xiu wiped blood off his face and asked bluntly, "So you really don't know anything? Don't lie to me. I'll find the truth myself." A dark aura swirled around Asai as he answered cryptically, "I'm not lying. You've already found out about me, so your question has been answered." Asai snapped his fingers and grinned. "Strange, though. Why did all of us forget you even existed?" Shio responded coldly, "That has nothing to do with me. Now stand up." Immediately, Po Q and P snapped out of it. A massive explosion erupted. He and PK Pin floated in the sky. "You plan to chase me?" he asked. "Mad Dog." Shu calmly slid his hand into his pocket, looked up and replied, "I don't need to. I already know what to do next." With a smile full of excitement, he said, "Is that so?" Then he and Pokin slowly vanished into a portal he created, waving cheerfully. "See you soon." After they left, Heyman ran up to Sio, worried. "You're letting them go?" Sue replied nonchalantly, "If we chase them, they'll activate the self-destruction spell that's already been cast across the floor. No one here has the strength left to dodge it." Looking at the mess, Sio remained optimistic. "We got what we needed. Clean this place up." Yonggu reluctantly responded, "Fine." Servan and the bald old man sat on the floor in confusion. Sue, his shoes soaked in blood, stood calmly in the puddle. Pandemonium Min Run, his heart full of questions. "What have you discovered?"